One.
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Shut the fuck up!
Hello, beautiful people. It is Aaron Rodgers, Tuesday, November 15th. 2022, and this dumbass show from the Thunderdome begins right now.
Football
is done with its Week 10 slate of the NFL season. Last night's Monday Night Football game showcased the only undefeated team in the NFL going into last night, the Philadelphia Eagles, at home against the Washington Commanders. And lo and behold, after a game of field goal kicks and moxie, the Washington Commanders deliver the Philadelphia Eagles their first L of the season. We will have Taylor Heinicke joining us at 1:20 Eastern Standard Time, the quarterback for the Commanders, not only last night, but in 4 games. He's 3-1 as their quarterback. Now, he didn't throw for a single touchdown last night, only an interception, but the motherfucker's a winner. He's got moxie. He made big-time throws to scary Terry McLaurin there. He dropped it in a fucking bucket. Very late into that game, there was big balls thrown by old Heinicke.
Hell yeah.
Who's a bowler. Look at this guy, though. He is slinging it. This isn't the exact throw that I was talking about. This one came, the Scary Terry one came late whenever they fucking needed
Here it
it.
is.
But this is a dude who is just very comfortable in his skin, very good at what he does. And whenever they brought in Carson Wentz to take over his starting role, his starting position, he handled it like, well, all right, man, that's just how it goes. Because he came from a small school. He was counted out. When he got his opportunity against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs a couple years back, he showed up and we're like, holy hell, is this guy the next guy? He's done well for the Commanders. He's done well for the Washington football team. They just weren't set on him being the future. After he has more and more and more and more and more success, then you see him on a plane ride last night home. He's fucking iced out with the boys with some glasses, two watches and a chain on with some Busch Lights in his hand. I mean, you tell me. This looks like a guy who's beloved by his teammates. This looks like a guy that wins a lot of games. And it looks like a guy who probably sent Carson Wentz into retirement at some point.
That's right.
I'm not saying that because of any of our relationships with Carson Wentz. We like Carson Wentz as a person. We saw Carson Wentz here as an Indianapolis Colt. His playing style was certainly a roller coaster one, but they have success when Heinicke's playing. They don't have success whenever anybody else is playing. I don't know how you look at that team going forward and don't say, this guy should be our guy. But it is the Washington Commanders. They are up for sale. Who knows what the next regime will be thinking, but we'll be talking to Taylor Heinicke in about an hour and 15 minutes from now. In 2 hours from this exact moment, we'll be talking to Aaron Rodgers, who's preparing for a Thursday night matchup against the Tennessee Titans. He'll be live from the Green Bay Packers practice facility in Lambeau, I believe. Is that where they practice?
I believe so, yeah.
Do they? They drive down the street. Joining us on stage, host of In the Trenches, A.Q. Shipley. Ty Schmidt, obviously one member of the Talks table, about to give us that answer there. Do they practice at Lambeau? Is that where he's going?
No, there's a facility, though, right next to Lambeau. But I think he, when he does the interviews, in season, like he has in the past, I believe that is from the stadium.
Okay, so Aaron Rodgers will be live from Lambeau, joining us 2 hours from right now. It'll be a shorter conversation than our usual Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, because today is a work day for them. They kick off week 11 of the NFL season on Thursday night. Can't wait to see how it goes at Boston. Connor, what were your thoughts on the game last night between the Commanders and the Eagles?
I mean, we all knew Devontae Smith was going to score. That was awesome. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to us for winning money off of that.
That conversation happened yesterday after the show went off the air, and we apologize for not having it live on air. There's some things that do slip past the goalie, which is our team kind of accruing information off of the internet every single day whenever we go into this. After the show ended, Bruce Brown brought up to Boston Connor, hey, did you see they just posted a happy birthday to Devontae Smith thing? He's 24 years old. And then Connor, immediately going from Bruce, literally walks right up to me and goes, Devontae Smith's birthday today, 2+ touchdowns plus 1,700.
Yep.
Like that. And I'm like, what is just one touchdown? And it was plus 200. So we started talking about it. Sirianni, okay, the type of guy he is.
Of course.
Let's assume he's going to want somebody to score on their birthday, because he'd be I want to score on my birthday.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Happy birthday.
it's only right. Happy birthday. It would be good. What's the best birthday present we give Devontae? A win.
Scoring touchdowns and a win.
Yeah, what's the second best birthday present we can give Devontae?
getting into the end zone, pay dirt.
Boom.
They're going to score.
Birthday tutty? I mean, that is. Can you imagine him actually? I can hear him saying all those things in the offensive meeting the night before the game. So I was like, yeah, max bet on this. He ends up scoring late in the game, fourth quarter. Happy he did that. Quick, I've hit a couple $15,000 bets here the last couple of days. I have lost a few bets, Super Boost being one of them. But when Devontae Smith caught this ball, he had a couple that he was going to break free too, and he got tripped up. It felt like they were targeting him a lot. I don't know if it's because it's his birthday, because he's Devontae Smith. Nonetheless, they were targeting him. Not so much A.J. Brown, who might have got hurt. And that leads us to A.Q. Shipley, a man who's a Super Bowl champion, a coach, and a player. The Philadelphia Eagles, at some point, we're going to probably lose. There's only been one team in the history of the NFL that has gone undefeated from bell to bell, and that's the 1972 Dolphins. Less games, less teams, less athletic. I mean, there's a lot of things we could say about them, but they still pop bottles every year. Congrats to them.
Congrats, Dolphins.
Thank you for being trailblazers, setting precedent. I assume they popped bottles last night in celebration down in Miami, as they should have. But the Philadelphia Eagles are going to lose at some point. Why was it against the Commanders, you think? What did you see out of the Eagles team? Does it alarm you, or does it make you feel good about it? This man has been a coach and a player, center, which we know could just get dropped into head coaching positions at any time and win. AQ, what are your thoughts on why the Eagles lost last night? Was it more the Commanders, or was it more Eagles, or are we worried going forward?
Probably a little bit of both, but the biggest thing that I saw was time of possession was huge, right? How do you keep an electric offense down? We keep them off the field, right? That's the first thing. Second thing, maybe the most underrated, I know we talk about it, I know other people talk about it, Payne and Jonathan Allen are a problem. You throw in Sweat in there as well. And now they're getting Chase Young back. That defensive line can cause problems every week. And they did again last night. They made a ton of plays, couldn't really get the run game going, and time of possession took over.
So you can wreck games with the D-line, any D-line. Even if you put a D-line that isn't – if you put a great D-line on a team that maybe isn't that fantastic, they can cover up for it, right? Because as long as the ball didn't get past them, we're okay.
Think about every meeting you've ever been in with a head coach. The game wrecker is always on the D-line, is it not?
Yes.
It always is.
Yes.
So it's either the 3-tech or the D-end, right? It's always that. They got two guys on the inside that are stout as can be, maybe two of the most underappreciated players. They're studs in the middle. That's a very good offensive line. Dickerson was having a ton of problems with Allen all night long. I mean, they wrecked the game. It was awesome.
Do you worry about the Eagles going forward? Is this a blueprint now for Jeff Saturday to put into place? First, we got D-Buck, Grover Stewart.
What?
A lot of other guys on that D-line that really get after it.
Yeah.
You know, are the Eagles in trouble this upcoming week? Don't let Jeff Saturday.
No.
Hey, do not let Jeff Saturday in his first home game, Lucas Oil Stadium. Game is sold out, by the way. Game is sold out.
Wow.
Do you think game would have been sold out? Jeff Saturday's not the head coach?
Absolutely not.
I would assume not. I would assume that is not the case. Jeff Saturday sold that fucking place out. The win this past weekend over the Raiders sold that place out. So it's going to be a tough environment for this Philadelphia Eagles squad. I think the Indianapolis Colts fans will probably be a bit more active during games than they maybe were during the Frank Reich era, just strictly because Jeff Saturday is a little bit more – now, I think he was swimming in it.
Yeah.
I think he was swimming in the first game. He was still trying to figure out where the fuck to put this thing.
Right.
And there was a couple things where he was like, explain. I think, on the tablet, he was trying to look at it, where he was doing that at, where he will probably do it in the future because he was on camera at the time. And, he's going to have to figure out his game stuff. I think the crowd's going to be, I think the crowd is going to bring it for Jeff Saturday and the Colts this weekend. Do you think that's a problem for the Eagles going forward? Is that a blueprint, or is that just an anomaly, you think?
I really can't answer that. I don't know, but I do know that if there is a defense that could copy that blueprint, it's this defense. Those guys inside are awesome, good linebackers. And then the key is on offense, sustaining drives. And now you got Matt Ryan back at quarterback. Keep them off the field. That's the biggest thing. You got to run the ball. You got to take time off the clock. Keep Jalen Hurts and all those weapons off the field.
So we still have massive respect for what the Eagles are probably going to go on to do.
There's no doubt. And we've talked about this a bunch. The biggest issue with teams like that have such a identity is when they get behind, can they change their identity and now become a drop back pass team when they're mostly play action, RPO, run the ball?
Colts are winning Super Bowls, so I just heard.
Yeah, it sounds like.
I mean, not to mention this weekend is an extra bonus. This is a Colts fans' revenge game because the Eagles gave the Colts Carson Wentz, and we know they're not over
Frank
that
Reich.
yet.
Well, Frank Reich,
And Frank Reich,
Carson
yeah.
Wentz fan. We sent back a couple good picks, because Carson's so damn tough. He didn't miss any plays. Last night's game, though, I think was very fascinating because as we're rolling into the season here, we're going to see some more. And I think we naturally have the thought that as you get to week 10 going into week 11, teams are who they are.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And then we start looking at records a little bit more. Like, look at this team's record versus this team's record, and we're naturally going to be like, oh, this team is much better. There's a lot of surprising losses that are ahead right now. There's a lot of teams that we think are fucking terrible that are going to beat a good team, and we're going to have a full conversation of, is this team dead? It's like just week to week. I'm not saying you don't know who's going to be there because these are professionals and teams should show up. But there's going to be some spoilers that come in out of nowhere. Jacksonville Jaguars knocked the Indianapolis Colts out of the playoffs last year out of nowhere. We had like 10 Pro Bowlers or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
The team, we were a very good squad, and then boom, out of nowhere, we get knocked out of the playoffs. With the way the records are right now, especially in the AFC, you're going to see some heartbreak coming up over the next few weeks. I'm not saying that was last night for the Eagles. The Eagles suffered their first loss. It was inevitably going to come anyways in a modern NFL that we're in with the parity that we have in the NFL. But there's going to be losses that are lying ahead that we're definitely going to overreact to, that we should now be kind of looking ahead and saying, hey, this might happen. And to be honest, your team might be one of those teams that does that to a team this year, and that's a surprising thing because you're the New England fucking Patriots, Connor.
Yeah, and the AFC playoff picture won't be set until, week 18 wraps up, because when you look at the AFC East and the division, I believe we play Miami week 18 or one of the division teams, and the Bills play the other division opponent. Like that conference will kind of set what those wild card spots are going to be. And you mentioned it with bad teams beating good teams in the end. The Raiders might go on and beat the Chiefs on this back half of the season just because it's a division game and they play them so well.
And I don't want to say this because Jeff Saturday, obviously, he's undefeated. His only win comes against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Sure.
But I was very happy for our team to get that win. Now, is that strictly because Jeff? No, I think it's because, like, you look at that team, it's like, this team should be good.
Good team.
Why are they not good? AQ, you've got to coach here, and I'm excited to hear your take on Jeff Saturday now that he was announced as coach when you were here, right? Last week?
Yeah.
He was announced as coach whenever or was that was it the day before?
Day before.
Yeah.
It was on Monday.
It was on Monday.
Parks got named the offensive coordinator when I was
The
here.
day you were
Yeah.
here, yeah, and he called a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Jeff Saturday said at one point there was a moment early where Parks asked Jeff for a play or whatever, and Jeff was like, hey, don't ask me, man. Just make your fucking. He didn't say that, but Jeff was like, hey, have conviction. Just do your thing. And it was awesome to watch them celebrate in there. But why do you think Jeff had success? Why do you think that like some coaches aren't having success? For instance, Brandon Marshall was on Up and Adams, and he talked about Josh McDaniels not being fit to be a head coach. And if you strictly look at how he's done whenever he's left the nest of the New England Patriots, there's a compelling argument to say, like, yeah, Josh McDaniels, not a good head coach. Now, will Josh McDaniels say that? No, I'm sure he will have a bunch of reasons on why it hasn't worked, and those are valid from his perspective. But is there a reason why some guys just aren't good head coaches and some guys maybe are just good head coaches, in your humble coach-player opinion, AQ Shipley?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing that we so quickly forget is that it's hard to win in this league. And then you also take a look.
Talked about this yesterday, how nobody celebrates anymore. AJ talked about Aaron being happy, or Tom being happy after a win. And AJ was like, I was happy for Tom for being happy because you're supposed to be happy whenever you win a game. Like, you're supposed to be happy, but most people just get relieved by it, and it's like, on to the next one. But all the conversation is, it's so hard to win a game. We should remember that. People should be more happy, I think, whenever they win
100%.
the fucking NFL.
Coaches inevitably make wins feel like losses. You've been in locker rooms like that. Hell, we went fucking 13-3 one year, and I felt like every game was a loss. It's like, Jesus, man, like we just
doing?
fucking won 41-7. What is happening here? Like,
Yeah, but that
why do
touchdown
I
we
feel
gave up. The
like
touchdown.
you walk in, it's like, oh, you guys got a game ball? Take that game ball and shove it up your ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so there's so many things that we forget. That winning is hard. One. The other thing is there's such a small, minute difference between what the Raiders are right now and maybe another team that's 6-3 or 7-2, whatever. Because if you look at the Raiders, they've lost all of their games for the most part by one score. They've had one blowout, obviously, I think, whatever it was. But
New Orleans.
There's a lot of them that were one-score games. So the difference between them being 6-3 or 7-2 is very small. And as fan bases in this league, there's no patience whatsoever, and it's
Yeah,
like,
but what can a
fucking, let's
coach
get rid
do?
of it.
What can a coach do? Because, like, it feels like there's some teams that will win those games, and then there's some teams that just lose those games. Is that the coach? Is that the players?
Yeah,
Is it the football gods? What, like, honestly, what do you think?
It's probably a combination of all. I don't think you can put one blame any one place on any of that stuff. I think when you look at that, the easy blame is, hey, let's put it all on McDaniels. Let's put it all on him, right? But maybe if another player makes a play here, if a defensive player gets a strip sack here, boom, game's over. Whatever it may be, there's 5 plays in every game.
And so from what we learned from D-Butt and everything DB tomorrow, if a corner is lined up 2 feet to his left as opposed to 2 feet to his right, and because he did that, now he's able to get picked, and boom, it's a 70-yard touchdown or a 55-yard touchdown out of nowhere, and that's the reason why the game is turned. It's crazy to think how close these fucking games are and how close these teams are, but I think every time we watch the film, that's almost what I get shown. Like, a guy in the trenches will just do one of these for a second, and then boom, gone. That's the game winner. Everything you did for the rest of the game does not fucking matter because you accidentally went as opposed to just staying square with that whole thing. It's crazy, the NFL. That's why what the fucking Patriots were able to do for 20 years is so impressive because of how much, I don't want to say luck is involved, but almost like on the plays that matter, it going your way as opposed to somebody else's. It's fucking incredible to think about winning teams and losing teams and how much luck is involved in it.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Vikings, Kirk Cousins gets stuffed on the goal line, and then on the next play, Josh Allen fumbles in the end zone, and now it's like that. And I don't want to say they've been super lucky, but good teams, like the bounces just roll their way. That's the way it goes sometimes. And in terms of the coaching, do you think any of it is like with Jeff Saturday, like he's the CEO. He's not like a lot of these coaches now are offensive guys, and it seems like they don't know what the hell's going on defense. Like they're calling plays. All of their time and effort is put in onto the offensive side of the ball. So they're basically an offensive coordinator who is the de facto head coach, whereas you see some of these guys who are like, yeah, Bill, is an unbelievable defensive coordinator, probably the best ever, but he still has a hand in the offense. He knows what's going on. It seems like a lot of these newer guys now, they're just on one side of the ball, and they just, whatever isn't their specialty, it's kind of like, hey, well, they got to go figure that out.
Head in the call sheet almost.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think Lombardi talks about that. Michael Lombardi of the Lombardi Line, the GM Shuffle, the Daily Coach, TED Talks.
Couple books, bestsellers.
Super Bowl champion, bestseller. Yeah, but he's talking about people's head in the play sheet whenever like something else is happening, like when the defense is on the field, like you're still trying to figure it out, and when you get in there. And Jeff Saturday said, I'm spending 85% of my time with the offense side of the ball because that's what I know and I'm in the meetings. But he did say, like, Gus comes to me, he'll tell me what the plan is, he'll ask for my opinion, we'll figure it out, then we get going. I think that's the right way to kind of monitor things. Now, Sean McVay had success. Right? Sean McVay had success. He got to the Super Bowl, loses to the Patriots in a bad fashion, gets back to the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl. Now, they have completely fallen apart, it appears, over there in Los Angeles, and Cooper Kupp out 2 to 3 weeks, whatever it's going to be, maybe even more with the injury. He's got 4 weeks, I guess. He's definitely out if he goes to IR or whatever. So they're falling apart. But it does feel like Vrabes, look at Vrabes, he's running coach of the year. Right. He's a defensive genius, we can assume. Yeah. He's a defensive genius. We can assume Vrabes is one of those type of savants. Has touchdowns as well, so he understands the offense. But he's kind of overseeing everything.
He's the CEO.
Yeah, and they're kind of ready to go. It feels like that might be the right answer. Is that in your opinion? Do you think that's the right way to go about it? Because you have to pay attention to everything. You have to have your eyes on everything. And maybe if you have eyes on everything, you can catch something that is maybe out of sorts much quicker than if you were only dealing with one particular thing.
Yeah, I think you can definitely point to that, but you look at Andy Reid, and he's in between series, and he's over there next to Mahomes. He's doing this. It's all offense. But one thing I will say, I played for Andy. Andy was so good at the details, especially in practice leading up to weeks. Like, I was a young player with Andy, and I'd be sitting back there. I'm a backup at the time, and he would just do one of these things. Hey, what's protection? You know what I mean? Like, it was always trying to catch somebody not fucking dialed in. Always.
So making you focus on this.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, I watched him, Deshaun Jackson, stud, right? Like, I watched him like he didn't have his practice jersey tucked in, sent him in. Like, just little details. Which,
I didn't know Andy Reid was like that. I didn't know it was a tuck-in operation.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Practice, big tuck-in, look professional.
Absolutely.
And everybody's going to look the exact same.
Tight jerseys, got your names on the back. They look like game jerseys. You practice like you play. You wear the same shit. You know, a lot of Indianapolis, whenever we played, they were the loose jerseys, right? Yeah. He's big on having the tight jerseys, so you get used to playing in the shit you're doing. And he's a big detail-oriented guy who always quizzing guys.
Huh.
That feels like the right play.
Yeah, I guess because he eats cheeseburgers, the media loves him, and some people don't like other great coaches and think that even though they're second all time in wins, that maybe they're shitty coaches. But that's the same thing with Belichick. Belichick hasn't called.
So he just referenced something that 32,000 people saw that I saw. 32.3 thousand people when I saw the video said. He's talking about LaShawn McCoy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, plenty of them. I mean,
I would like
LaShawn
to let you
McCoy's
know, though,
in the line.
We are big fans of Shady around here.
We are.
Big fans.
Big
I
fans.
am too. I'm a huge fan.
Both as I think he's awesome on camera. I think he's hilarious. On the field, though, ball.
Stud.
Dude changed the game.
Way he
hey,
runs.
Stop carrying the ball like that. Stop carrying the ball like that. How about as soon as I lose it one time, you can fucking talk to me. Until then, fucking scram, dude. Basically is what Shady said. He was fantastic, and on TV he's fantastic. He was on Up and Adams on FanDuel TV, and he gave quite a promo about Bill Belichick is Rex Ryan, Marvin Lewis, and Andy Reid without Tom Brady. Let's not even get crazy. It was 2 minutes straight, and Kay Adams sat in the pocket. Kay jousted. I mean, and he seemingly had an answer for everything. He felt, I think, pretty strong. Now, he was teammates with Tom. He won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady, I believe, and he got to see the way Tom works. But he did say Bill Belichick just, what are we even talking about here?
I just don't see it.
I just don't see it with Tom Brady. I'm like, damn, I didn't know people actually felt that way. People do feel that way. In listening to him, I was like, he makes a compelling argument. I don't know if we're going to get him off of his case in feeling that ever. I didn't know that was a common thing that people thought. Is it? I don't think it is.
Remember last year, I mean, leading up to Patriots-Bucks, I mean, people were drawing lines in the sand, whether they thought it was Brady or whether it was Belichick. And a lot of defensive guys, Ninkovich, Teddy Bruschi, a lot of those guys, obviously, Team Belichick, a lot of the offensive guys, Amendola, if you remember, he came out and talked about how it's all Brady. But, I mean, you take away any of the great coaches, you take away their best player, they're not as successful. When Andy Reid's done, are we going to say, yeah, but he had Patrick Mahomes, and so he wasn't that great of a coach because he couldn't win without Patrick Mahomes? Like, that's just not fair. Sorry that, Brady and Belichick drafted Brady, that Andy Reid traded up and drafted Mahomes. Like, that's what great coaches do. If they see someone who's really good, they play him. And one thing that never gets talked about with Belichick and Brady that, we talked a lot about with Man in the Arena was paid Bledsoe $100 million. Tom Brady's a rookie quarterback, and Belichick decides to start Tom Brady in the fucking Super Bowl after Bledsoe comes back and leads the team to victory over the Steelers. Tony, that was not supposed to be a shot, in the AFC Championship after Brady got hurt. And then he still decides, you know what, no, we'll have Brady, play in the biggest stage as a rookie after paying a guy, $100 million, which is the first of...
Which would never happen.
Never
happen with any other place. So you got to talk about that. He was also GM, I think, and head coach, right? So he's able to make those types of decisions, which are normally, I'm sure, pretty heated arguments and debates on who wants what. But I think he's won so much, you just have to say he's a good coach because how hard it is to win in the NFL and how consistently he's done it and how much time he has invested to the sport. Like, not only as a head coach, everybody talks about we heard a lot about it whenever Jeff got handed the head coaching role of the Indianapolis Colts because he didn't do all this stuff. Coaching takes up so much time of your life, whether you need it to happen or not. It's just kind of, this is how it is. And we heard a lot of this is how it is last week whenever Jeff Saturday got hired from the coaching ranks. Like, hey, this is how it is. You're just there all day. Then you add on top, he has to negotiate with people, and he's also shaping the roster and building the roster and handling scouting departments and everything like that. The amount of time that he has put into the sport of football, I just think, just by that sake, like, thank you for what you've done for the game and committing your entire being to a league and to a sport. Like, I think that's, they say something. To have 2 decades of success whenever a lot of teams have not been able to carry success longer than 5-6 years in that entire run, or just in the history. Everybody has like a good 5-year run, a good 6-year run. Nobody's really able to continue to do it for 4X that, which is what he was able to do. So there's some sort of greatness. But everything LaShawn said, though, everything LaShawn McCoy said, though, it was hard not to be like, oh, I could see why you would feel the way that you feel. And it's a fascinating argument and conversation that's going to take place forever, literally in the football world.
Also, some people don't talk about when you've been coaching that long, like he's had to evolve with the times. Like as the NFL has changed and evolved, like he's had to evolve as well. And we see a lot of guys who had a bunch of success, and then when the league kind of changes and things change, like they don't have success anymore because they don't know how to evolve when things are changing in the league. And Bill's been able to do that every single time the league has changed, the rules have changed. Like that doesn't get talked about a lot, and that's a big part of it.
I still think I think there's a young crop of head coaches that are going to be real good. For a long time. Like, how long has Vrabes coached for, you think? How long you think?
Forever, right?
You think?
As long as he wants to.
Yeah.
I mean, his resume is proven. I mean, if things start to go south there, people will jump at that.
Yeah, D coordinator if he has to.
I mean, I think head coach. I mean,
well,
he's done such an amazing job. Yeah,
depending on how it ends.
For sure.
But would the coaching world is an interesting one.
Yeah.
And we're in the middle of it right now with Jeff Saturday. But like MCDC, it's every other week. Detroit wants to extend him or get rid of him.
Get him out.
And that's like his life now that he signed up for the next however many years he's in Detroit.
It's hilarious, actually. Fans go crazy. They all love him now, but 2 weeks ago they absolutely hated his guts, had to fire him.
Who do you guys got this weekend?
We play the Giants in New York.
But
It'd be a good battle.
spread is kind of weird. It's only 3.5 points right now.
Yeah, I saw that. What's that all about?
People just don't respect
Giants
Dable.
aren't really good.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, Tone. Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer.
Dad.
Cowboys is here. Tone, before you dive into your thought on the Giants or coaching, we have to talk about last night because something happened in gambling that people are going to have to be probably given a little bit more of an explanation into. I, too, am learning of this as it goes because you don't really I feel like you don't really understand or get the grasp of something until you have to experience it. Last night we experienced an under on receiving yards for Devontae Smith, in which it was a annexation of Puerto Rico play where he was lateraled the ball after a completion has already been created. So Jalen Hurts throws the rock, completion, hook and ladder, we're running it. Devontae Smith got the ball at the 15. He got rid of it at about the 11. He ends up going down in the record books for -4 yards or whatever the hell it is. -10 yards, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's where the ball was originally
Yes.
received.
Right.
Yes.
So from where the ball was originally received to where Devontae Smith, after getting the lateral, threw the ball to a teammate, which then caused a defensive touchdown. The over had already hit, but if this would have caused the over, you're talking about a twofer with Devontae's receiving yards going under on a lateral and then the over hitting. The over had already hit, so that's not something, but 10 yards, allegedly, is what he lost here, receiving yards, from going over to under. People lost money on this, I think, last night. A lot of people did. Do you want to explain that and kind of dive into that a little bit more?
There was tickets on that of people who had his over as far as receiving yards, which I believe was 53.5, I think, and he was at 55. And this is like, this play is just an absolute disaster, and it's kind of why when they were flirting with the instead of kicking off, having like the 4th and 15 or whatever play, like this would be a lot of these situations where it is. So like in that situation, say the football team was favored there, and they were covering by 3.5, and they like that always happens. That end of the play, toss around is always the situation for the total, for the side, and then now that prop bets have become more and more popular, where Quez Watkins catches the ball, and then the laterals start happening, and I believe because Watkins got credit for the yardage for the catch, and then as soon as it goes to Devonta, he gets the negative yards. It's a whole wild situation. It's terrible. Like that is a terrible way to lose.
That is a terrible way to lose a bet, and you compound that on the reason why the Eagles lost last night. A lot of people had Eagles money line in a lot of parlays as well. And I'm not saying this is why they lost, but a reason the Commanders certainly won was because of a hit on a quarterback that is
Interesting.
very, very interesting. So if you look at the end of this particular game here, in this play, and obviously we'll take that down to get the exacts on this, 26-21, 145 left, okay? 26-21, 145 left. And remember, the Eagles were going to score because he fumbles the rock after getting up. He was going to go score, completely different game. If he scores there after a fumble, instead he fumbles, ball comes back the other way. 145 left, 26-21. Philadelphia Eagles have proven that they can move the ball as of this particular time period. At home, could be a monumental staple. Philadelphia Eagles adversity, we still get a win when we shouldn't have probably got one because of how the game went.
Yeah.
Run the play. Taylor Heinicke, instead of running the ball and running some more clock, they were going to throw it, maybe put a little death in this thing on 3rd down. He kneels, and then Brandon Graham hits him late.
Boy.
And the white hat says 15 yards. Taylor Heinicke says, thank you. 1st down. They only have 1 timeout, less than 1:40 on the clock. This is over. Now, if we were to watch this, we would immediately think to ourselves, with the game on the line for a team to win, this call can't be how a game is decided. But you go back to the like the side view of that thing, the slow motion one there. But if you look at this, boom, right here. So if you look at this, go ahead and press play. As soon as his knee goes up, pause. Look how far away dude is. Okay? Brandon Graham is very far away from Heinicke. Now, this is an awkward-looking kneel down. He could have slid. He could have done something else. It's a weird thing for Heinicke to do at the time he was trying to do. He's trying to stay inbounds, doesn't want to throw it away, wants the clock to keep moving or them to spend a timeout. But the way he went about taking a knee, certainly awkward. We'll talk to him in about 50 minutes, and we will certainly ask him about why this particular knee of choice and why this is how he decided to go down as opposed to any other way. But Brandon Graham, pretty far away. I mean, pretty far away at this point. Press play. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean,
the Reddick one was fine too. Like,
so, you see, he's like 6 yards away.
Yeah.
Whenever Heinicke's knee gets down to where he was standing, and the refs, I don't think they blew a whistle as fast as they maybe could have because I think of how awkward his knee went down. So I don't think like the call can be a call that wins a game, just like what happened when the Colts and the Chiefs played. And Chris Jones said something rude to Matt Ryan
Right,
on the last drive in the fourth quarter, and it was 15 yards, first down. Colts go down, score, win, beat the fucking Chiefs. Like, we thought that was egregious, even though I was on the positive side of that. Thought that can't have that win the game. This wins the game for the Commanders. So a lot of people are going to be upset about that. But also, he's like 6 yards away whenever the knee goes down. Do you think Brandon Graham just didn't expect this to be the kneel? Do you think he was confused by what was going on? What do you think, AQ?
Yeah, defensive players are taught to play to the whistle. There was a late whistle, if a whistle at all, before that. And I think the other thing that's interesting, I didn't even realize this, but if Graham doesn't hit him, does he fall this way and now it's on Reddick? They're gonna call that, or is that?
I don't think.
No, I think he was close.
He was
enough.
fine.
Yeah.
I think he was
He was
close
fine.
enough. Yeah, I think so.
So they're saying late hit on that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, by the letter of the law, yes, that is, because he gives himself up. But also, like,
It's weird.
for Brandon Graham, he's coming in and he gives himself up. I don't think he's looking at Hassan Reddick like, oh, he's got him down. Like, he's still, if he's looking at the quarterback, so he's assuming, hey, yeah, he gave himself up, but I still have to go in and touch him. And like it's like kind of one of those.
I don't think you have to touch him if he gives himself up. If a guy takes a knee, I don't think you have to touch him. But I think it was such a weird. Go back to it again. It was such a weird way of going down. Like, I don't think Graham was expecting Taylor Heinicke just to fall in this particular fashion.
yeah.
Yeah, you can press play. Like, he makes a cut. No, I'm down. Like, it's a weird jump down thing. Clearly giving himself up, though.
Yeah, but
Clearly giving himself up.
if he goes down to the ground there and doesn't stay in this double knee position, correct?
Well,
And his head's down, you still would have to touch him down, would you not?
No, I think it's if you give yourself up, take a knee, I think. Right? Because he takes a knee.
Yeah, they
That's
blow
what I'm
the
saying.
whistle.
But I'm saying, like, if you're Brandon Graham,
He
and you
takes
see-
a knee. I think that is why it's such a big thing because
that doesn't look like a knee to me. A knee is what you see when a quarterback. goes
exactly,
down.
it's a weird in like kickoffs. People used to do it for touchbacks, like the way you would give the way he went about doing this.
Yeah.
Is one of because if he slides, you have to touch him, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Slide, you have to touch him.
No.
well,
no.
no.
But if he falls, like that's what I'm saying, like if his shoulder goes to the ground here, and he falls head first, not feet first, you would have to touch him down.
All right, let's go back to let's run this thing back a little bit again.
Well, and even with
Go all the
that,
way back to the beginning. You can go all the way back to the beginning.
that's awkward too because remember they lost the Packers game because he gave himself up before running the ball in.
Go ahead, play.
Clearly,
Tackle just got
I mean, he
way
gives himself up for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, it is such an interesting thing. I think the timing of it is what makes everybody upset about it. I can't believe that's how they win the game. That is how they win the game. But Brandon Graham, who's obviously in the heat of the moment here, third down, minute something left, you're down 5, got to get a stop. Great football player. We're not saying anything about it. But there's also, like, if you're a Commanders fan, you're saying he was 6 yards away whenever the guy took it. I mean, 6 yards is a long time. That's a lot of time to potentially stop. Heinicke gives a good sell. We'll talk to Taylor in about, 45 minutes or so to see his take on it. Because as soon as he goes down, he goes, okay, thank you so much. That's the first down. See you later. Keep it moving. That guy's a leader. That guy's a winner.
Yeah.
He's chained up and iced out on the plane after that.
That's bullshit. The game ends that way. It's
It
just
is.
bullshit.
It's tough.
Can't throw a flag.
I mean,
there.
that one's not as
Cannot.
bad as the face mask.
Yeah, the face mask is one that people are talking about. It needs to be a reviewable call.
Yes.
Because they're thinking that sports books are cooking the books with these refs for these calls. Because face mask, obviously 15 yards, big deal. I mean, it's a huge call at the timing in which it was called. But that is becoming the conversation now with a lot of people online because the refs have had a rough week. This week was rough for the refs.
Yeah, might be their worst.
I think so. I honestly believe so. Fourth quarter, whenever this is tough too because there's a clear grab.
Yeah, that's so obvious.
So you should be able to challenge that, obviously. Yeah. You should be able to get that. You can't, but I see the internet has become very loud about the NFL rigging games, in refs rigging games. Yes. I'd like to let everybody know that I don't know how that would be good for either party. I don't know how the NFL would benefit long term when you're talking about like trillions of dollars, or how the sports books would benefit long term, which you're talking trillions of dollars. It's like whenever you get to a point of getting a certain amount of money, are you just going to want to fucking kill it so you don't get to this amount? I think with the way sports books or brains are and with NFL brains are, I think they would want to build this up long before they would start rigging the game. If we're thinking just from they would do that standpoint, let's give them a little bit more credit and assume that they would do it. And they would wait until it was a much larger piece of the pie. They're still very much in the incubation period of the sports gambling. Only 18 states have it legal, mobilized gambling. So that is only going to grow and grow. I don't know if they just want a first year where it's illegal. All right, let's fucking ruin it. Let's rig these games with these sports books. I think if they were to do that, and let's just assume that people believe that they're the type of people that are willing to do that. It takes a certain person to be willing to do that on a product that you own and on a product that you do business with or a product that you work in. But I think if they were to be that type of person, they would want it to be much bigger. So I think that is my counter argument to people that think it's happening. If you do think it's happening, you think the people are willing to do it, well, then you got to give them at least a little bit more credit that they would wait for it to be much bigger before they fucking do it. Now, on the flip side, I don't think they could do that just strictly because unless the players are getting paid and unless the coaches are getting, everybody would have to get a piece of that to be in there. Yes. And how many people know the secret and are going to be able to keep that would kill the biggest league in the world and kill one of the biggest businesses in the world that is currently blooming. So I'm not a believer in that, but there's some shit happening with refs that have people thinking that, and that's never good. And that is a officiating issue that we have to get fixed, but I don't know if we'll ever be able to.
It has to get fixed. I mean, this is not okay, especially like a play like that. You cannot decide as many games that have been decided based on your feelings getting hurt by somebody saying something to you or a play that is clearly not malicious. And to everybody else, it's a little fucking confusing on what he did. Like I said, his shoulder goes down right there.
That was weird. It's
awkward. It's confusing. So, like, you cannot, especially in the magnitude of that fucking moment of that game, you cannot make that.
So, like NHL refs would be like, come on. Like, don't the NHL refs kind of have a little bit more say? But then them having a little bit more leeway, then people are saying, well, then it's rigged. The other, I mean, it's like it's a no-win situation. You just have to hope that you get better officials, I think.
The problem with what you're saying about the rigging thing is you're using logic, and these internet booger eaters whose bets are losing. And like these are the same. They're saying it's rigged because their bets are losing. They're also saying it's rigged. Like they're the same people who want their money back last night because the Devonta Smith over yards went under because of a bad beat or whatever.
I can understand that.
It's fucking gambling.
I can understand the Devontae one being upset about that.
No.
There's a couple other ones like annexation of Puerto Rico where throwback touchdown hits the over and everybody's like, oh, this is bullshit. It's like, no, that's part
gambling.
That's part of gambling. Like just like the Devontae thing is part of gambling. But I think what people are going to learn, and this is what Tone's getting at, is, hey, sports books are going to be right a lot.
Yeah.
The book is going to be right. That's why we're playing against them.
Yeah.
It's tough to gamble.
We're trying to beat them, and I just want to let you know, and on the flip side, they're trying to beat us too.
Chandeliers.
They don't hang themselves.
They got a lot of chandeliers. No, it's mobilized, and I think they're just in offices, but they have the finest of the microwaves in those kitchens, in those offices. And so I understand why people are perturbed by sports gambling getting into these big leagues. But I think we have to have a little bit more faith that if that was happening, how quickly everything would crumble. There is circumstances and there is things that potentially happen if you do this. The NFL knows that, sports gambling knows that, and it's not good long-term for either of them. And that is how these types of people think. The officials issue, and we haven't dove into it much this year.
Not at all.
I will let everybody know, though, I am not scared to let my thoughts be known on poor officiating. Now, every time I talk about poor officiating, I have to give the subtext that nobody wants to be a fucking ref. Why would you want to be a ref? Are you talking about the worst job of all time? Yes. You go into a stadium, nobody is a fan of yours. Nobody's pulling for you. Your family's even helping to get out of there without having to fucking say a thing about being related to you. The power and mental strength it takes to become a ref is one that I don't have, and I don't think a lot of people have. The only time you're ever liked is if you fuck over another team. And how much you're liked, you're hated by the other team. And guess what? Next week, it's going to be a completely different fan base. And the next time you call a game for this particular team that likes you, you could fucking get them to hate you too, just on one particular call. With that being said, have to get better. Have to figure out how to get them full-time, more money, make it better, more appealing for people that are talented officials, because the league is going to have to combat this PR battle because people are putting money on all these games. And if their officials are fucking up their league in their game, they're going to have to put a little bit more emphasis on it. So maybe this is something that we need to make the overall of the game better.
It's kind of like being president almost. It's like you do everything right and you're still going to alienate half the people. Like no matter what you do, it doesn't matter. Half the people, if you call the best game possible, like people are, if your team loses, you're going to bitch about the refs anyway. You're going to be able to find 3 or 4 plays where it's like, hey, this was defensive pass interference. There was a holding here that didn't get called. You know, like that's going to happen no matter what. So it is. It's like these guys can call it the perfect game no matter what, and they're still going to have half the people hate them. So it's like, why the fuck would anyone new want to do this, especially if it's not a full-time gig? You know, like these guys, oh, you call a shitty game, well, what are you going to do? You're going back to your law practice where you're a partner. It's like, hey, guess what? Like that's a little bit more important in your personal life than calling a game on Sunday.
Yeah, full-time jobs, more money, because all the good refs are
on TV.
They're still a part of the game. Yeah, they're just getting big TV contracts that are paying them so much more money. They're like, I'd be doing my family a disservice if I didn't choose to go sit in a studio all day Sunday. Everybody likes me. I got all the right answers.
Yeah.
My kids are pumped that I'm their dad. My wife is allowed to tell her friends that we're married because I'm the authority on it now. I'm getting paid 10x what I was making. I don't have to get booed out of stadiums. I don't have to do any of the travel. Travel's just to one place every single week.
Easy.
It is such a cush setup for these. But like we lose Steratore, that's bad for the league.
Yes. Yep.
Terrible.
Bad for the league. Hockey League retiring. I think he didn't do TV. He just retired. But I assume if you give him enough money, Hockey League maybe lumbers around the field a little bit longer, and he had a little bit of control of the game. And if you offer up more money, maybe more people would be incentivized, former players maybe, to get into officiating. And instead of the bad curse it is to be an official, maybe it becomes like a desired profession for more people. And I know there's guys that do high school football, and there's these 2 dudes that were calling the St. X Moeller game whenever I went over there with Herb Street to watch Chase Herb Street. Guys' names were Dave and come on, brain. One of them was Dave. Fuck, if I would have pulled that one, that would have been unbelievable.
Yeah.
They've been calling high school football for 20 years. This is just what they do on Friday nights. Then they go get wings and drink beer afterwards, and they just love being an Ohio high school official. Like, absolutely love it. But there's a lot of people that do that, and then they're trying to get to like a smaller college, then they're trying to get to a bigger conference, then they're trying to get to the NFL. There's like a whole system to get to the NFL where we're supposed to get the best of the best. I think we'd get a lot better people in the pipeline if they knew that the final destination was one where you could get paid well, full-time job, year-long job, and you're not just going to get cooked for everything you do. I feel like that's a good way to fix it, but once again, that costs a lot of money. But in comparison, not really. Doesn't really cost that much money. Does it cost more money to combat PR of how bad and rigged your refs and games are? Or does it just to kind of get better refs in there? I don't know.
Also, if there's one thing the NFL can't really use an excuse for, it's like, oh, that costs so much money to do. It's like you guys are making fucking money hand over fist. Like you can afford to pay, 40 refs full time the entire year. Like they can.
You think more former players would do it if there was like good money at the end of it? I think former
If
players
it was
are the
full time,
ones.
for sure.
Better
right?
hours than coaching.
I think former
Way
players
better.
need to be officiating. I think they have better feel. You
Probably
know
have a
what I
better feel, could probably see things differently. The biggest issue right now, especially
Oh, this is I can't wait. We pissed off the coaches last week with Jeff Saturday taking their job.
Yep.
Now we're like, former players need to take the fucking officials' jobs. Listen to us. We apologize to the officials. We think you guys, we commend it. You just heard everything I just said, so I'm not going to fucking say it again. We understand it's not
an impossible
easy.
job. Way to go.
It's an impossible job. I do believe, though, that is a potential profession that former players should potentially strive for, and I think they would if there was like a pretty good setup at the end of the day. Like, I think that would be something that people would want to accomplish.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think too as well. These referees, these officials are shown buzzwords, right? Like look for this, look for that, and instead of just watching the whole play. If you can just watch the whole play, I think you can see a lot more. But what they're doing is they're looking for certain things.
So AQ's saying now the job's much easier than these guys. You're
No,
saying they
but-
overthink it.
Well, I think they go into these competition committees. They get told this. It's like this. What's the points of clarification? Is that
Yeah,
working?
not emphasis.
It's all these different things that get put in their head, and when that happens, instead of just watching the play and seeing it, they're looking for certain things, and that I think is the issue. I think that's an issue.
Well, what do you think? Should you be able to challenge 15-yard penalties?
I think you should be able to challenge everything, but I am on the wrong side. I get attacked every time I say that
So-
by a lot of people, not just fans. Players tell me that too. Coaches tell me that. Everybody hates me saying, I think you should be able to challenge fucking everything. And if you get it right, you keep your challenge. There's no you need to get them both right to get an extra one. I think you should have 2 of them for the entire game. You can fucking challenge everything. And let's make them quick. Let's make them expedited. Let's use the fucking jumbotrons that are in every single stadium. Let's have somebody. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead and pick it up. Let's move along, and let's make them a bit more efficient. To do that, I think you have to get younger. Here's us once again.
Yeah.
We are just taking
the olds out.
We are taking the olds out. I think you got to get younger people that are more equipped to handle the technology, the views, to look for things much quicker and more efficient. People that have a lot of confidence. I think people that have been coached up very well. People that aren't scared to make a decision and believe what they see. You know, everybody tells the players like, "Hey, trust your eyes, trust your eyes, trust your eyes." I think these refs got to be told the same damn thing whenever they're looking at reviews. Like, "Hey, trust your eyes. Like, if that was real, let's go with it. If not, let's move on." What are we spending 2.5 minutes trying to figure out something that's conclusive? If you have to spend that much time, it's not. So let's just fucking move on. I think they could expedite the process. I think you should be able to challenge everything. And I think it should be something where we utilize technology to help the refs as opposed to act like the technology is dunking on the refs. They're not. They're in it together. They have fucking how many? 8,000 frames a second? Is that what 8K is? They have 8,000 frames a second right here. And then your eyes just can't, sorry about it, until we figure out a new human body, your eyes can't do what this fucking camera can do. So if we can get the call exactly right quickly, let's go ahead and use that as your tag team partner as opposed to a corrector. And I just think the XFL had it.
Yes.
The last XFL had
Xbox.
it. Not the first XFL. This last XFL had it with the Xbox review system where the person was quick, confident, talking it out. Like, I see what you saw there, but the ball was actually out before he went down. It is Dallas Crew ball.
Yes.
Renegades ball at the 37 or something. Then boom, ball gets picked up. Didn't even have to go to commercial break. It was just like within the time it would be to reset the chains was really the longest thing. I think we're going to get there. I honestly believe we're going to get there. I just think we all wish we were there like now. Like, hey, we need to be there right now. It's going to take some time. I think it's going to take some people to buy into that too, because every time I say that, there's going to be a lot of people that tell me I'm stupid. So we're going to have to buy into that as well. But I think they can fix it. It's going to take money. It's going to take new technology. It's going to take broadening horizons a little bit. That's a massive overhaul when you think about the NFL that moves at the speed of smell with things.
Right.
So I think the future's bright in the officiating, but there's going to be some lumps over the next couple of years of sports gambling continue to grow, I think.
You mentioned it a couple of years ago that they should have some sort of program where former players are the guys in New York, because it doesn't really make sense to have some 78-year-old retired ref be the one who's deciding all this stuff, because you already know, like Pereira told us, he was like, hey, refs defend their own, like very rarely is
Pereira.
Yeah, that was Pereira. Hey, knowing the camera's on you, pal.
Yeah.
God
That guy
damn.
does not care.
That was
Talk about a dog.
Yeah, he is a dog. He is a.
He was flipping that tongue.
He was. But they should. Like, those guys should be former players who can very quickly, they still go through like a training program, a process. So you don't just have some 78-year-old guy who more times than not, is just going to side with the official's call on the field, whether that's correct or not.
Yeah, I got to have a little gumption in there too, I think. But it doesn't have to be ex-star players. We're not saying like
No.
Anybody.
We're just talking about people that know the game. This was our point about Jeff Saturday. Everybody was talking about Jeff in earnest. You don't think Jeff fucking knows football from everything that Jeff's done at the center position? Now that we're learning basically about what the center has to do, which is understand the entire defense and the offense pretty much every single play. That's the type of guy Jeff Saturday was. Not all centers are like that, I don't think, right? Not every center operates that way.
No.
But that was the style Jeff Saturday had with Peyton Manning behind him. There's no wonder they're the winningest decade in NFL history whenever they were done there. Won a Super Bowl, built a stadium, fucking changed the entire landscape of Indianapolis, Indiana. Jeff Saturday was a part of that, massive part of that. Big talking part of that, brought football back. You don't think Jeff knows football? Like, that was my biggest question. Like, you don't think fucking Jeff understands football? Now, obviously, they go beat the Raiders, so that is a clear indication that he knows football more than Josh McDaniels. That's
Right.
exactly what that is.
Direct correlation.
That's exactly what that's saying. You know what I mean? That's pretty much the whole thing. But it's like, I think former players have a little bit better understanding. I don't think I should be the player. Like, I don't think a punter. I don't think I should be the one that's looking at an offensive holding call and why it happened, or a defensive holding call, or a corner or something like that. Like, I don't think but I think there's enough people that know the game at a very high level that have, free time now, that if they were asked with a pretty good position, hey, you want to come back into the fold, be a part of this, we'll teach you up this, we'll pay you this, you're a part of something again. Like, it's not even like smart for the game. I think it's like goodwill too, like for the league to extend for former. I just think it's better for the entire, what's that called? The entire
Community?
Yeah, I'll come to it. I'll come to it. But you get it, like the entire fucking
The unification of the.
there's like everybody that's ever been in the NFL, like it would help bring, I think, even more together. It's good. I think players should be in more roles. I think coaching is one of them, and then I think ref is the other one. Now, what are the other roles that they can't be in or shouldn't be in? None of them. I think they should be fucking GMs too. I think they should be strength coaches. I think they should
Everybody.
I think they should be. And this is just, you're probably going to hear a lot of players talk like this. Because in the NFL, there's a lot of players that go like, this is so fucking stupid. Why are we doing this? We should be doing this. And then we see teams that start doing things the way players have been saying things should go. And they win a Super Bowl, and then another Super Bowl, and then another Super Bowl. And it's like, well. And now we're in a time where it seems like, especially after what Jim Irsay did, we might start seeing a lot more of that. And we're all open for fair competition. If the player isn't the best person at it, but I do think there should be at least an olive branch saying, hey, they have broadcast boot camp, which I was never 3 times I got rejected from.
Class is full.
3 times.
And they'd always have it during like mini camps or OTAs, so like only like a certain portion of people could go.
Bro, 3 times? 3 times rejected. 3rd time I didn't even want to fucking apply. I'm like, no. David Thornton, who's still with the Colts, was like, hey, man, apply this time. I talked to a guy over there. They didn't say. I'm like, no. He's like, no, do it. All good. They know you're over there. Rejected again. I'm like, DT.
What the fuck is
You
this?
made me just stare down rejected again. Like, that's not fun. You think I enjoy that? I don't enjoy that at all. But they have a broadcast boot camp where these guys go into it, and they have executives from CBS, ESPN, NFL Network, Fox there. Basically, everybody but me that you've seen on television from the NFL has graduated from this broadcast boot camp and met all the TV executives at this broadcast boot camp, which probably got them the current gigs that they have during broadcast boot camp. How come there isn't there's a business one at Harvard? Harvard has a business school that NFL guys are allowed to go to. I have friends that have gone and gotten like certificates from fucking Harvard, which obviously helps out immensely in whatever business thing you're going to get into. There's all these different camp things that happen. Why not have just like an officiating opportunity or like an internship or whatever it is, and just get more people into the pipeline? And I'm sure naturally, just like anything, there'll be attrition where guys will fall off and guys won't be good at it. But if you open the net a little bit wider and present it as a good opportunity, like, I think you're going to get more people to sign up, and maybe that helps it, because what they're doing right now ain't working.
Yes.
Okay? This shit is continuing to be a conversation year after year after year after year. We asked Pereira. We asked Pereira. We enjoyed Pereira, actually.
Yeah. Love Pereira.
Yeah, we enjoyed Pereira. We thought he was hysterical.
Oh, yeah.
But we asked Pereira, we said, because last year the refs were really bad. We're like, is it worse this year, or is this how it always is? He's like, oh, this is how it always is. That's what he said. He said, this is how it always is. It's like, well, then how is that just the standard? Like, are we even trying to figure out how to make it better? Because when people are losing, now people are losing, like their fans are losing money on this because sports gambling is becoming more legalized. Not that their fans weren't losing money before, but now it's like being broadcasted, legalized, regulated. Like every other part of your league is awesome and like moving, and you can get better. The officials seem to be always a constant negative. Now, will they ever be a positive? I honestly don't know. I have no idea. And I've talked about it for a few years. I wish the refs had a little bit more personality. Like whenever they were saying something, I wouldn't mind a little brief explanation on why they did what they did. Like last night, if Cuzzy goes, Taylor Heinicke declared himself down clearly. It was a weird way, okay? I was watching it. I was confused as well. It took me a little bit. But Brandon Graham was clearly 6 yards away. He hit him. we have to call it. Like, that is literally what the rule is. It's a damn shame. Game's over pretty much. First down, Commanders. Like, obviously not every ref has to have the full capabilities to cut a promo or to explain something. But if they have enough, they're a solo shot on national television. Hey, you are the voice of the league. You are the voice of the sport. You are the voice of the fucking game. I think they should get people who have a little bit of self-confidence and a little bit of, hey, we did this because of this. First down, then you're answering questions that you don't have to have the internet answer for you when those might not be right. I think that is also something we can maybe incorporate into the whole process. What are your thoughts on that? You think that's no good? Some people tell me, oh, we don't need these refs talking for 30 seconds. It's like, no, not 30 seconds, but like that call, if the ref says we have to call that. I think even though people are going to be upset about the timing of the call, I think everybody at least gets an answer like, well, they have to call it.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. Like, I think it does a little bit of that, and it's only like 2 seconds right there. But then that would have to be every single game. The ref would have the freedom to be able to say whatever. Is that kind of I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think he had to make that call at all. I don't think he had to make that call.
But he was 6 yards. I mean,
I still don't think he has to make the call in that time. Think about how many times you've watched basketball or football and you hear, oh, the refs are letting them play. That's what everybody likes. You want to be in a game where the ref lets you play and they're not throwing flags, they're not disrupting the momentum of the game, they're not doing all that shit. That is all we ask for. We just don't want every time you see a hand maybe, 2 inches outside the shoulder pads, up holding. Like, we don't want that ticky-tack stuff. We don't want it.
But they can rely on, well, the rule book says. The rule book says.
Right.
The rule book says,
Right.
which lends even more to the case. Like, get some confident, get full-time, year-round training, get them together, have them go have them climb trees together.
Yeah.
Trust falls together.
That's right.
Do the whole thing. I think make it a unit, like make it a team, so that whenever they come out and speak on why they did what they did, hopefully they'll have each other's back. There'll be a little bit more unison across and consistency, which I think we all look for. But that is certainly a conversation that is only going to ramp up more if they continue to have weekends like they had this past weekend, which hasn't happened much, to be honest. I don't know if they
No.
I don't
Not
know
this
if they
year.
just didn't like the lack of national TV time.
Yeah, because it started this year with a little bit of the late hit on the quarterbacks and the roughing the passer stuff like that. But there hasn't been a weekend where where there's been like multiple different areas of bad calls. I feel like there was this weekend.
Go ahead, Connor.
Well, and they should start it with like the system that you're kind of talking about with the referees, because that is the biggest part of the game that needs to be fixed. But what do you think even the conversation is between those refs when they're, watching that Dallas Goedert fumble to see if the guy who recovered it was down or not, and they can just see the face mask? Like,
On the jumbo, yeah.
Yeah, like, how do they not talk about that while they're watching the review? Like, boy, we fucked up.
Well, and then they also act like I guess they're told they're not allowed to look at the Jumbotron. Why? Well, if you're conversing, right? They throw a flag, then they go talk about it. We see it. They hold the players back. Excuse me, we're talking about it in the stadium. They're running a replay right over right over one of their if they accidentally just go like this, oh, there it is. Hey, but they're told they can't look at it. If you're conversing about it, trying to get the right call, why can you not just go, oh, hey, look, here it is. Oh, yeah, pick it up. That's no flag at all. And then just move on. That makes too much sense. Everybody else in the stadium can see that they were wrong. So you're setting the ref up to get booed like a mother. You're setting those 5 people up that are in that little circle in the middle of the field with 70, 80,000 people around them. They all see the same picture. The ref not allowed to see the picture. Ref calls something different than the picture. They're automatic heels for the rest of the fucking game, no matter what they do. So you're almost setting them up for failure even more. It takes a special person to be a ref. We're not down. I don't want to downplay that at all, but I think there has to be some, process changes to get people up there. And I know the officials are going to say, oh, first the coaches, now the refs. But it's real. Get the former players in there. Offer them actual jobs. Have them be a part of something. I think buy into something could be the answer.
Yeah, you're trying to make their lives easier, too. It's not like the reviews are going to hurt them. It's going to help them make the right calls so that these conversations don't happen the day after games.
What is it, their ego, you think? It's their ego that they don't want the technology buy-in because – what do you think?
I don't know. And the other thing is, too, is
here we go.
Here we go. The other thing that whenever we get a big run in the games, right, they always show the behind angle, right? It's it's like the perfect coach's cut up, right? It's like the perfect coach's view to see this run. Why is that view never available whenever we're looking at like a replay. It's never available. It's always a side. It's always this. It's always a pylon cam. Probably get a pretty good view from behind. I'm just saying.
All right.
Just saying.
More cameras.
It's all the TV cameras or the cameras that they
just
use.
saying.
Those are team cameras, I think you're talking.
No, like during games, if there's a big run, they show the behind view.
Well, that's where the sky cam's right behind them, right? Is that the sky
So
cam?
why can we not use that for reviews?
I think they can, can't they?
I don't know.
You're saying
Never
they're
see
not?
It. They never see it. See it pretty good.
Well, one of the reviews they used yesterday, like on the sideline of the Goddard getting tackled. I mean, there's a referee standing right there where the down and distance mark is.
No offense to the refs. We have a lot of friends probably that are still reffing in the NFL. Not friends, but people that I've been
Friendly
with, and they're good. But Cleet Blakeman, he even laughed the other day. He flubbed one. Like, I think he's a great ref. I think if there was a bunch of him out there, and you can question his calls, the way he manages players and conversations and attitudes on the field, that's a big part of being the ref as well. Coaches, communicating with the coaches, what you're calling, why you're calling it, the way he talks to the camera, I think is very good. He's a human. If we get a bunch of cleats, that'd be fan. Hussey, I like Hussey too.
Hussey's great.
I like Hussey as well. I think Hussey's a good ref. He was over there at the Germany game. I'm happy he got the chance to do the first game over there. I think he's a great ref. I'm not saying get rid of the good refs and we need to run them out of town. I'm just saying we need to create a system that can really maybe take care of this for the next generation of football so we don't continue to just run into the wall, because that would be the definition of ineptitude.
Yeah.
It's just doing the same thing the same exact way and expecting a much better outcome, as opposed to the definition of insanity that Albert Einstein just fucking made up out of his ass and isn't real at all.
Right.
About doing something the same way and expecting a different outcome being the definition of insanity. I think it's actually a definition of ineptitude, because if you do the same thing and you keep getting the wrong answer and you acknowledge that and then you choose not to fix it, it's like, why are you, what's the problem? That's not insane. That's just a lack of ability, I think, personally, to be able to fix it. We're just trying to offer up some better ideas.
Yeah, you don't need to run these guys out of town, but there should be a bigger pool so that if there is like one referee crew that is terrible, it's not like a situation where, hey, we don't have a choice. Like, these guys are going to give a game the next week and the following week and the week after that. And then when we get to the playoffs, they won't, because they'll have a low-rated score. But if we had a bigger pool where it's like, hey, these guys threw 29 flags last game, and it was fucking terrible. Like, they're off this week. We got a different crew going in. We'll see. And if they aren't worth the fuck, then maybe we go back to the drawing board.
Get Wally Pipp some of these crews.
Exactly.
Let me just say one more thing. Who's grading these people?
Go on.
Walt Anderson.
Why don't we have a bunch of former head coaches grading it?
How do you think they'll grade the refs every single time?
I think if you get them to look at it and view it honestly, they'll do it the right way. I do. I think they know what the rules are. But if we're just using the same people that used to be in their positions doing the same exact things to grade the people that are now in the old positions or new positions.
And those people could potentially be joining them at some point in their position.
And to what Pereira said, they're going to have each other's backs.
Yeah.
And
It's just like this. It's a never-ending.
Walt might be saying, like, hey, nothing ever lower than a B-, okay? Like, we ain't going below B- ever.
Could easily happen. And to your point about, like, Cleat and Hussey, if it was a full-time job, then in the offseason, those refs could be the ones, like, training the next batch of referees.
Hey, and guess what? Cleat, Hussey, good news. More money in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're a professor now.
You've been there longer.
Look at us. We're creating, like, jobs, bonuses.
It's the full-time thing that needs the first and foremost fucking happen.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a Bush League type operation, like a Bush Light, like old Heinicke was drinking.
Camo can,
wide. All right, let's get to a break, all right? Let's take 5, and in hour 2 will be on the other side. AJ Hawk will be here. Same with Taylor Heinicke.
Hell yeah.
AQ Shipley. I saw you practicing earlier, okay? I saw you warming up a little bit earlier. You want to throw a football right now and try to put it in the hoop? Trying to make 10 people $500 richer? Is that what you're going to try to do? In your beautiful Bella canvas shirt.
Come on, Al.
One of one, AQ.
You guys ever see these shirts?
No.
Plain black shirt? No, never seen one.
Super Bowl champion, AQ Shipley, little cold hands. He's from Pittsburgh originally, lives in Phoenix now. He's a bit soft. It's a little chilly up here in the Thunderdome.
Hasn't shaved in 2 weeks.
If AQ makes his shot, it does look like he's kind of going through some stuff. I wonder what fight camp has been like. Obviously, Fight Club with Jay Glazer every single week.
True.
Falling
Kicking
apart
his
with him
ass.
in Qatar.
If AQ makes one of these shots,
Jay's where?
Yeah, he's in Qatar.
Yeah, he's in
Covering the World Cup.
Soccer Lombardi.
Yeah.
Is
Massive.
Fight Club canceled till he gets back?
Should be.
That'd be rude. Tell him just watch Yellowstone. It's the best part of his life. Football's on, Yellowstone's on. I mean,
What?
we're going to Montana this weekend.
What?
All right, AQ, you make one of these shots. We'll give 10 random people who retweet this, say something nice for somebody, and put their cash tag in a reply. $500. If you miss, nobody wins a damn thing. The Super Bowl champion, Alan Quay Shipley of Moon Township.
Ooh.
Oh my! That was the one. That was the one.
Come on, Al.
You can repeat it, right? Yeah. This guy's in a Hall of Fame, Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League, basketball and football Hall of Famer.
For what town?
Used to live in the paint. Moon Township.
Moon time.
Joe Nardo's place.
It is Joe Nardo's town, isn't it?
For Joe.
For Joe. Oh. Do one for him.
Not your Joe.
Well,
Look
you?
at him.
That
Look at
Joe.
him.
Look at him.
Look at him.
Look at him.
Look at Joe. Rest in peace,
Save
Joe.
for you,
Miss you,
Joe.
Joe.
Thank
Miss
you,
you,
Joe.
Joe.
Thank
He's coming
you for-
around the end. He's going to strip sack you, Q.
Joe Nardo would strip sack you, though, even though he's
yeah.
part of Project Bundle Up.
Break your fucking back.
All right,
Yikes.
that's what you get.
He did it on
You didn't even say
Yeah,
thank
didn't
did it
respect
on-
Oh,
him.
and then you just.
He did it on purpose.
Say sorry.
Oh, that was very nice. That was,
Yeah.
Tip,
Sorry,
tip
Joe.
of the cap.
was that the first sign of respect we've seen
About time.
from AQ Shipley to Joe Nardo?
Certainly looks like it.
Fight Club right here on
Yep.
the desk. Exciting. Your first one was really good.
Was.
Second one wasn't bad. Third one kind of lost
Terrible.
your way. Next hour, you'll be better.
I was worried about
We got Heinicke in about 13 minutes. We'll be back on the other side of this break with AJ Hawk. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 15th. Take 5.
Bye.
He hit a 64-yard fucking fair catch out of his own end zone right here. Okay, 14-0, end of the second quarter. He's in his own end zone, 64-yard fair catch. A lot of people said, guy shouldn't have fair caught it. Who cares? The returner put his head like this and was like, oh, I probably won't be able to return this. So he gets a fair catch. The ball has to be hit so high and so far to be fair caught. If you get a fair catch over 50 yards, it's great. If you get a 60-yard fair catch, people are like, this dude is a stud. A 64-yard fair catch is fucking demolished. He murders the ball. He has quickly climbed the ranks alongside A.J. Cole of Vegas and Tommy Townsend of the Chiefs of having, like, I think the best punting in the league right now, in the game right now. Guys that can hit balls that nobody else can hit. Camarda started out bad. I think he was rushing. I think he was worried. I think he was trying to get it off too quick. He was in his own head. He has settled in here over like the last 5 weeks. Murders the football.
Up next on PMSN 14, how a local man won thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from the world's #1 sportsbook this past weekend. With more, here's Nikki Lucine.
Hello and welcome to this special investigative report. What was once considered dirty and dangerous, sports wagering, now regulated and legalized, has many of us dreaming big. We're all searching for the big one, a wager of massive proportions. One of PMI's own, Boston Connor, was able to accomplish just that this weekend.
We sat down with the brazen member of the toxic table himself, just to find out how it all happened.
Yeah, it's been about 3 years or so of me placing these bets going all the way back to 2020, and you never think that every single guy on your parlay is going to score 2 touchdowns, let alone a same game parlay plus, but somehow, some way it happened. And I'm just relieved that telling people over and over and over again that plus 155,000 odds bets can hit finally did hit.
The wager consisted of 2 same-game parlays, combined to create a same-game parlay plus.
Devontae Adams, everyone said he stunk after last week because he only had 1 catch for 2 yards, so I figured Devontae's pretty good at football. He'll score 2. Travis Etienne, he was just kind of like, Etienne's playing well, he's never scored 2 touchdowns. You might as well just throw him in there just because, you know, it. Austin Eckler, he always scores 2 touchdowns. And then Cordero Patterson, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he's just coming off the IR, and I figure when they get to the goal line, they'll give it to Cordero, and they did. So that's kind of why I picked those 4. There's no real rhyme or reason, but yeah.
We did the math to calculate just how much of an investment this actually was. 50 total weeks at a median bet amount of $25 was $1,250 in 2+ touchdown parlays with a net of $26,750 after hitting this same game parlay plus.
Really? Holy shit. What do you plan to spend the remaining winnings on?
Sunglasses and bubble gum, maybe cigarettes. I don't know.
Until next time, good night, good morrow, good luck, and good fortunes.
Did you have the? Is that like that? Or
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, full on. Hey, that's scary. Don't you think you're gonna die out there? Isn't there some moments where you're like, if I die, I die. I guess you have said that, but you think you're never.
Cousins from the pocket, floating one, and right underneath is Justin Jefferson. On the move and all the way down inside the 15.
Kirk Cousins takes a huge hit by Payne.
You say you're never going to breathe again, right? And there's some of that thought out there. Were you having that on the field or no?
You do have that thought for a second that you're in a dark place and you'd like to get out of it. I remember whoever hit me, Payne or whoever hit me pretty good, and I'm kind of, I don't know what I sounded like, but I must have been like, because as he walked by me, as he got up, he goes, "You'll be fine, you'll be fine." So I must have been moaning or something.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome, on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 15, 2022. Hour 2 starts right now. Football is done with its Week 10 NFL slate as last night's commanding victory over the Philadelphia Eagles was on Monday Night Football. It was a blast to watch. It was the first loss for the Philadelphia Eagles. Although we haven't lost faith in that Eagles team, we are certainly going to have to show the Commanders a lot more respect going forward. They had 40 minutes of possession time. I was told that stat during the break from one half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys, Tone Diggs. That's a lot of minutes with the ball in a 60-minute football game.
I think it's almost 2/3.
Whoa. 666, huh?
Remainder.
Wow.
That's wild.
Wow.
With the thing over the top.
Commies?
It's never ending.
Commies play for the devil.
Nonetheless, that's a lot of ball possession against the Philadelphia Eagles and keeping their offense off the field. It was a close game. The Philadelphia Eagles certainly could have won it. A interesting call ended that game, even though I think 6 yards away is a long time. Taylor Heinicke gets hit, first down, game over. Philadelphia Eagles no longer undefeated. Toxic Table is undefeated at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt, and also the host In the Trenches, which we'll get to in about an hour and 45 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Ship, please. Great to see you, AQ. Thank you for joining us. Joining us now, live from an attic in Ohio, is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, a COVID survivor, a man who called Coach Vrabel fat yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. Hey, Jay, how you doing,
Yeah, I
pal?
see what you're doing. I see what you're trying to do. You know better than that.
What? What'd I do?
I didn't say Braves was fat, never said it. Luke, being his best friend for 40 years, may have made a comment about that, but not myself. But thank you. Good to be here on the program.
Oh, great to have you here. Thank you for clearing those things up. I thought for sure I heard you echo the sentiment of Luke Fickell yesterday, whenever.
Nope.
I thought if we were to run it back, there was a chance you kind of
you could probably check it out if you want to after the show. You can see what happened.
All right, well, I'll just take your word for it. I'm not going to go back. I'll take your word for it, and I apologize for putting words in your mouth. Tom Brady also called Vrabel fat a little bit, it seems like. So I think everybody that is friends with Vrabes has probably experienced Vrabes at some point, is seeing a weakness right now of Vrabes. This guy is deep in the middle of the season. Oh, we can kind of attack this thing a little bit. I did send a text to Coach Vrabel last night, letting him know that, and I falsely accused, I guess now I'm learning, that Luke Fickell and A.J. Hawk called him fat on the show. He had a great response. I will not read it, but know that he is okay taking all the smoke right now, and I assume he's going to get back into great shape this offseason, and there's going to be a little bit of, what were you saying?
Yeah,
we were
what's that about?
doing a little bit of this. Anyways, last night, Commanders beat the Philadelphia Eagles. You were on the Commanders plus 10.5. Turned out to be a great pick by you, A.J. Hawk. What did you see in that Commanders team that made you think that they were going to be close? And then obviously they get to win. What did you see in them getting a win last night?
Well, it's whatever Taylor Heinicke has. And I know he's coming on the show here in a couple minutes. Like, whatever the moxie he has, the competitive drive, like the whole team feeds off it. You can hear comments from other players on the team after the game. Like, whatever it is, he has that thing, and people seem to rally around him. And their defense played well when they need to, and they had big stops, and he converted a bunch of big third downs. Like, they did what they needed to do to win.
Only one team in the history of the NFL has gone undefeated from bell to bell. Is the 1972 Dolphins. We hear about them. They're popping bottles last night and probably this morning because the last remaining undefeated team did suffer a defeat. Follow-up. Are you worried about the Eagles? Or is this inevitable at some point for the Philadelphia Eagles to lose a game? Because stats literally tell us that.
Yeah, I am not worried about the Eagles. I don't think a loss is ever a good thing, but it's fine. They'll be okay. They'll keep moving. They'll be
What were you going to say, Connor? You just gave a little reaction right there.
No, I agree. I agree. That was their worst game. They showed the stat yesterday while they were playing. They had 3 turnovers in their first 8 games, and they had 3 turnovers last night. Like, you lose the turnover battle, you lose the game.
What an incredible run they've been on. Only 3 turnovers in the first 8 games. I saw that pop up there, and it was as Jalen Hurts was coming off the field or whatever. I still got a lot of faith in him as a leader. I think Jalen Hurts is a guy that can – go win. I think he can win a Super. I think Jalen Hurts is the quarterback that can win a Super Bowl. I don't know how many of them are out there. Okay, and I'm not diving into. I think he's a part of an exact number of people. I think Jalen Hurts and that Philadelphia Eagles team can win a Super Bowl, even though they just got the loss. I think personally,
they got the blueprint. I mean, they got everybody. They got a good defensive line. They got a good defense. They got a great offensive line, a good run game, and then a ton of weapons on the outside. And you have a quarterback on a rookie contract, which allows you to pay everybody else.
And Sirianni, who's obviously football guru.
That's right.
Yeah, genius.
An absolute dog.
Yeah.
Now, you think there was a shot of him last night in deep thought, and they just were zooming in on his face slowly. And I was like, I would love to know what the fuck's going on in between those ears right there. Because he was locked in on something, AJ, and they were just like showing his head, and he wasn't talking to anybody. He was certainly figuring some shit out. And I'd like to know just like the second-to-second thoughts that are in Sirianni's head, because I think he just loves competing. I think a loss, now he told us that it's easier to motivate guys whenever you win. He recognized that whenever he was at Mount Union, he only had 2 losses, like 63-2 or 53-2 or something like that when he was at Mount Union. He said, because when you're winning, you can get people to buy in easier. Like, hey, we're winning because we're doing all these things. You can keep people buying in. Because I asked him, isn't it difficult to motivate whenever you're winning? And he said, no, opposite actually. Easier because you're buying in. Now he has an opportunity. He got the weight off their shoulders, the monkey off their back, the undefeated season's there. And he probably has some things he can point out and say, if we continue to do this, we can lose. It might end up being good for the Philadelphia Eagles in the long haul, what happened last night to the Commanders.
Yeah, it could end up definitely being a good thing. Now, in the moment, like you always want to win every single game you play. That's how everybody should feel. But yeah, you could definitely take what you can from a loss and move on. And you're right, maybe it does relieve some kind of weird. Maybe it just, I guess, they just don't have to answer questions about it after every single game, going into every single game. Hey, are you guys thinking about this? Do you care about being undefeated? And no matter what the players say, it's hard to believe them. Like, we don't care. It doesn't matter to us. And what truly matters is win the Super Bowl. That's all anyone cares about.
Joining us now is a man who is 3-1 as a starter this season for the Washington Commanders. Obviously, he's out of Old Dominion, I believe. Old Dominion star, baby. The greatest player to ever play at Old Dominion, in my opinion. I assume he has others. In my personal opinion, greatest Old Dominion football player of all time. Damn good NFL quarterback. Fresh off of a dub last night in Philadelphia. Ladies and gentlemen, the iced out, jade out, Taylor Heinicke.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, thank you for joining us, man. This is really cool of you, especially after how big of a night was last night. Saw you iced out on the plane. You looked amazing. You're 3-1 as a starter this season. Tell us about the win last night. Tell us about your team. And when Brandon Graham hit you, were you like, fucking game over, pal? What was the entire mindset there? Just kind of take us through it all, if you could.
Yeah, kind of going back through the game. It was a complete team effort, man. We ran the ball 49 times. You know, offensive line did a great job protecting and in the run game. You know, receivers made plays. Defense made a lot of turnovers, and you know, freaking Joey Sly's hitting bombs out there for field goals. So it was a full. There you go.
Lace is right on that 58-yarder. That's not an easy kick. How cold? Is it cold? Was it cold last night?
It was pretty chilly.
50
30s.
30s in the fucking 30s last night, you're saying?
I think so. High 30s, low 40s.
Lace is dead right. Ball spinning, 58-yarder in the 30-degree weather is a massive. I mean, that wasn't his only one. I think he had 2 from 50+. Big night for Joey. I'm very happy for him. But sorry, I had to stop and say that just because I want people to understand how good of a fucking ball that is. 58, laces to the right. Not supposed to be able to hit it as clean. He makes it. I appreciate you shouting him out. I just wanted to, kind of tag team that thing. But yeah, 40 minutes of possession you guys had last night. That's huge.
Yeah, it was huge. And, a big part of that as well is just converting the third downs. We were pounding the rock. We were getting third and short situations. And, the biggest thing for us was trying to keep their offense off the field. And, how to do that was run the ball and convert third downs, which we did a great job of. So, it was a full team effort last night. And, on that last play, we just called sticky. And it was like, hey, if Terry's open, give it to him. If not, just take a sack. So in my mind, I was like, this guy better be wide the hell open for me to throw it to him if I'm just taking the sack. So, I took a knee there, and I saw Reddit coming in. I was like, oh, this might be a little too close. But then I saw Graham coming in, and I was like, please hit me. And sure enough, he did. And he got the flag. So, yeah, it was a good little deal.
Before your question, AJ, let's run that clip because we broke this down earlier because obviously the refs are going to get attacked for this because this won the game for you guys. He is, if you run this, whenever you take a knee, stop it when he takes a knee. Boom. He's 6 yards away from you here. We did the calibration for it, actually. Now, that was a weird fucking knee. Taylor, why was that the knee of choice? Just giving yourself up, double knee, let's go ahead and sprawl on this ground as fast as possible?
Exactly. I wasn't really thinking of how I was going to take a knee. I just knew I was going to get on the ground.
So that's in your head. You're running, and you're like, all right, I got to get down here, and you just first react, let me jump down on it. Yeah. It's amazing because I think you baffled Graham. Like, I think it was like a little bit of a baffling. Did the whistle come quick, you think? Or I don't remember how quick the whistle was. Was the whistle there?
Well, I remember I was on the ground for a good bit, and he came in hot and got me. And right when he hit me, I looked at the ref. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
And I saw him reach for his flag.
Is that something?
So.
Go ahead, AJ.
Taylor, sorry. Is that something you guys practice? Do you actually practice a play like that? I would imagine you would want to. Hey, if Terry's open, I'm going to give it to him. If not, I got to get down and take a sack. I guess it's much more safe for the team to go down and not sit there and just absorb 3 guys hitting you and worry that they might strip the ball from you. Is it something you guys work on?
No, it's not. Right before that play, Scott was on the headset just saying, "Hey, we're going to call this play. If Terry's open, throw it to him. If not, just take a sack." And I was like, "All right." So he wasn't open. He wasn't open like I wanted him to be open. So I kind of tried to waste a little bit more time off the clock by scrambling a little bit and then just getting down. So again, they made a little mistake, and we're kind of happy they did it.
Yeah, I think like refs, obviously, everybody. You talk to former players and fans are like, "Gotta let them play," but also like. There was 6 yards from when you gave yourself up in a weird. I mean, I don't know what I would do either. In that situation. I don't know what I would do, so I can't judge you. But you took a knee. Clearly, he was far. I think he just competitive moment hit you. But I think watching it, the ref had to call it. I think that's how it was. You guys win a game, make a great play, and put a bow on an incredible Monday Night Football, which is, not just Monday night, but you go back to what you did against the Colts. You look at what you did against the Packers. I mean, you guys have been on a run. You have made plays when you've had to make plays. You've thrown balls in the bucket to Scary Terry. And at the beginning of the season, you were told it wasn't your team anymore. How have you been able to handle this? You've been the consummate professional through this. Your locker room loves you. It sounds like your coaches love you. Why do you think like you've been able to handle this situation that a lot of people wouldn't have been able to mentally, you think, Taylor?
Yeah, again, I kind of just go back to where I was 2 years ago. I was not playing ball, and I thought I was done. So, every opportunity I get, I'm just happy to be in the building, first off. Because, again, I didn't know if I was ever going to play ball again. So, I knew they were going to go out and get a quarterback after the last season. We went and got Carson, and, I kind of just, took my role and went with it. I was like, I'm going to back up Carson the best I can, help him any way I can. And if my number's called, I'll be ready to go. So, my biggest thing is I just want to win. You guys been in NFL locker rooms. It sucks losing. It doesn't matter if you're playing or not. So, I just want to be the best teammate I can be and help any way I can. So, if they want to go with Carson next week, great. I'm going to help them in any way I can.
Hey, it's admirable, dude. You need to know that. That's not a normal thought. Keep that, man. It's a weapon that you have that not a lot of people have, and you're balling right now. Connor, your question for Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor, I think a lot of us have already seen the conversation with Ron Rivera after the game. Did you and your teammates kind of talk about getting that win for him and everything he went through this week with his mother?
Yeah, we didn't really need to talk about it. You guys seen all the stuff going on with the organization. Week in, week out, we always hear something going on, and I feel like just Coach Rivera doesn't get a break. He goes over to see his mom, at the end of her time, and then she passes away, and he comes back, and there's another report out, and it's just that the guy can't catch a break. So to go out there and battle for him last night and get that win was huge for him, and he's proud of us because, again, every week we there's a report coming out, and we just put our heads together and focus on ball. So, the guys are really excited right now. We're on a roll. Hopefully we just keep this thing going.
I was going to ask you about your relationship with Ron Rivera because of the thing that you also alluded to there. Seemingly world on fire over there, seemingly. But you guys in that locker room have been able to maintain the course. What is it about Ron Rivera that makes him such the perfect leader for your team? And what is your relationship like with him?
Yeah, me and him have a great relationship. We go back to Carolina in 2018 when I was first with him. He's the ultimate player's coach, man. He lets everyone beat themselves, and all he does is demand that you're focused and work hard when you're in the facility, and all the guys do that. So, again, when those reports come out, the cool thing about him is he'll address it first thing in the morning in team meeting. He'll address it, tell us what's kind of going on, and said, "Hey, let me handle this. You guys focus on football. That's why you're here." So, he really takes that off all of our hands and just lets us focus on ball.
Boys, I think we're selling a team. Remember, I said that a couple weeks ago before it came out. We're actually now selling a team, but I'll deal with that. You guys got nothing to do. It's been incredible what you guys have been able to accomplish on the field it's already hard enough to win in the NFL, let alone when everything's going on around it. It's definitely worthy of a conversation. I can't thank you enough for having it about Ron. Go ahead, AJ.
I guess with your team right now, how do you guys feel moving forward? I know Chase Young is reportedly going to be coming back hopefully this week, maybe. I mean, you guys are on a nice little roll there. I would imagine you guys want to keep riding this momentum.
Yeah. Again, we had three games in a row that we won, and then we lost to Minnesota that we felt like we could have won, that we kind of let slip. And that was a good team. They were 6-1 team at the time. They're now 8-1. Just beat the Bills. That's a good team that we kind of let off the hook. So to go up there and beat Philly, undefeated at their place, hostile environment Monday night, it's huge for us. The guys feel very comfortable, very confident right now, and again, hopefully just keep this thing rolling.
You guys are good, man. Tarek Glenn went into the Ring of Honor here in Indianapolis. Did you not care about that whenever you were playing? You know what I mean? Like, that was supposed to be a celebration.
We got that homecoming vibe in high school. When you're a homecoming team, the away team, you feel like a little disrespected. So we felt like we need to rain on the parade a little bit.
I will say we talked about it. We're like, this is basically like, I actually said exactly what you said. Jim Irsay picked this game to be a homecoming game, and I'm sure Rivera addresses with the team, but like Jim cut a promo on your current owner of your team like a few weeks back. It's like, did he pick it because of his relationship with the other owner? Did he pick it because the quarterback's going there? Was it just scheduling? Whatever the case, it was supposed to be what it was supposed to be. And then in the last drive, you and Scary Terry. What is it about you and Scary Terry that's so beautiful? Last night, you dropped one in a bucket for him. He made an incredible catch, but you two are creating highlights every single week. What is it like playing alongside of him, and why do you think you love him so much? And would every quarterback fucking love Scary Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, man, he's just one of those guys that, the coolest thing about Terry is he'll even tell you his biggest problem coming out of college was contested catches, and that's what his strength is now. He worked hard at it. So, the more reps we get together, the more we play together, I feel like we get more comfortable. He understands my strengths, my weaknesses, and vice versa. So, whenever we get a one-on-one with Terry, you like your chances. We paid him a lot of money this offseason. We paid him for a reason, and you see it on the field. He's making plays in crucial situations all the time. So I'm very happy he's on our team, and hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Where did he go to school? Do you know?
Ohio State.
Oh, OH.
IO.
All right. I mean,
it works too.
This guy actually wants to. He's an Ohio State legend. He's in the Ohio State Hall of Fame. Yeah. Never says that.
AJ Hawk.
Trying to speak to. Trying to talk to the guest.
Oh, okay.
I grew up a big Packer fan, so I grew up watching AJ Hawk, and me and my dad were big fans. So this is pretty cool.
What did you think about old 50 flying around trying to cause CTE on everybody? Yeah. Hey, you're a gunslinger though. The way you play, like I think we all appreciate. And I'll let AJ chime in here, but I think you're like an old school quarterback. AJ, you feel the same way about watching this dude? I really get that feeling from him.
Yeah, great. Like you're not scared to stay. Someone's barreling down at you, a free runner, and you're going to stand there until the last possible second before you pull the trigger. Is that something you always had? Like, did someone instill that in you at a young age?
Again, man, I grew up watching Packers, so I grew up watching Brett Favre. So I watched.
Don't emulate everything.
Don't raise any funds. Okay, don't do any. We're talking on the field. We're talking football. On the field. Yeah.
I grew up watching him. He had a lot of fun with the game. He was passionate, and I remember him, talking trash to Warren Sapp all the time. And I was like, you know what? This makes me fall in love with the game. So I try to emulate him ever since I started watching him when I was 8 years old. So.
On the field. Ty also grew up watching the Packers. Has a question for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Taylor, it's very admirable that you said you don't. Hey, if Carson starts next week, you just want to do whatever you can to kind of prepare him. I'm not in the building, obviously, but from the outside looking in, Carson ain't fucking starting next week. I think it's your team, you're the guy, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you're making like $200K for every win. So is that something that you're, telling the guys on offense, like, hey, I don't have the big money contract, all right? So we need to fucking win these games so I can keep affording these J's that I'm buying after the game.
And did you see the $150,000 come around the edge as Brandon Graham when you were taking a knee? Is that the exact Brinks truck you saw?
No, the cool thing is that everyone kind of knows that kind of part of my contract. So, like, they're all saying, let's get Taylor this bonus check. So it's cool, man. These guys are trying to help me out, give me some more money in my pocket. And I feel like I'm going to do something cool for the offensive line this week. I think I might buy them all the starting offensive line some J's too. So
I already got a green pair. Okay, yeah. We beat the Packers a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. You get some J's. You get some J's. Right. You get some J's. Right. Make sure you save your money, man. You've earned it entirely. And, afterwards, it feels like you and the team have – is it a meet? Because I remember you went in, and there was, I think Chase Young was pointing at the Heinicke, and there was a mic'd up segment in your first game where they're like, we've been saying, like, this guy is a guy or whatever, and you balled. Your relationship with your teammates is special. Last night, obviously, on the plane, see you all iced out with the glasses, drinking water out of an interesting cup that you were choosing to use, which is very nice of you to hydrate and everything like that. But that moment, what is that plane ride like back home, and what is the team like right now? I assume vibes are incredibly high from that video. Is that what it's always like in there?
Yeah. My biggest thing when I first got here was, again, I'm going to try and be the best teammate I can be. So I try and take a lot of my time out, in my free time, just to go around the locker room, just cut it up with all the guys, whether it's the DBs, defensive line, linebackers. I don't care who it is. Let's all develop this relationship. So we have a really huge, like, family feel here in the locker room, which is great. So, yeah, that plane ride home last night was awesome. All the guys were trying to get me iced out, and it was a cool deal. So hopefully we can keep this thing going.
Whose glasses? That was a nice little added touch to the whole thing.
That was my boy BK. He's practice squad DM, really cool guy, but he put the Cartiers on, so it kind of added the cherry on top.
Yeah, it was a nice little bonus there, the glasses. Last question for you here, Taylor from AQ Shipley.
Hey, so let's pivot back to last week. So leading up into the prep, third downs are a big indication of whether you win or lose. Was it a big talking point that we need to hold possession and convert third downs and do this leading into this week, knowing what they have on the other side on offense?
100%. Again, we go back last week and we looked at their film and looked at the film from Philly and Texans, and the Texans did a pretty good job. They got after them in the run game, and ever since that big number 90 for them went down, their rookie from Georgia, their average of yardage per rush was 2.7, and with him out, it was 6. So we're like, hey, we have a good chance here to run the rock, and we just got to convert. We got to convert third downs. If we can keep converting third downs, long sustaining drives, keep their offense off the field, now that's just good for our whole team. So again, it was a huge team effort. Again, Joey Sly with some big time kicks. It was a full team effort. Proud of the guys.
Hell yeah, and we're proud of you, man. Hey, we're proud of you, because last time we talked to you was at Radio Row.
That's right.
And we thought at that point the slogan or the song for it was going to be, "We are Commanders." Bum, 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 bum. But that's not the song. No. What the song is for the Commander squad is actually, yep, there it is.
Boom.
There it is. So you know the song. So you put your left hand up.
Who are we? The Commanders.
You guys are jamming that locker room? Are we playing that in the locker room in the plane last night? Or is it something that you guys all just know about?
No, we were playing a lot of Meek Mill because, we were in Philly.
Oh. So this team your team's a bunch of savages, huh? You guys are a bunch of dogs over there. Yeah. I love that.
Bunch of guys that just like to have fun, cause some commotion. So, yeah, good group of guys.
Hey, put your left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. Stand us. Who are we? The Commanders. What a banger. I remember the first morning I heard this song.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
Play that shit again.
Thank you, Wale.
Played it 10. I don't know if Wale was a part of it.
What?
Once again, I do not know if Wale was a part of it, but shout out to the creators of said "We Are the Commanders" song.
Oh, goody.
And shout out to you, Taylor, because you're a story of the American dream, pal. You have a great mindset, you have a great attitude, you're a great teammate, and you're great on the football field. We appreciate the hell out of you for your time today. Enjoy the rest of your day, pal.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
What do you have the rest of the day? Anything cool? What are you doing?
About to put a couple Zens in and go home.
Oh, hell yeah! Fucking dog. Yeah! Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Heinicke.
Yeah!
Oh, man, I fucking love that guy.
Yeah, that's my Favre.
Yeah, he's a sinner.
On the field.
On the field.
Yeah, probably gonna sin again.
I am a sinner. Every game day that we go to, except for this last one, because we're in the middle of a storm in a stadium.
Yeah.
We do the show live. I do the show, and then once I get off the show, to get to where I have to go, I always have to walk through like all the people that are watching the show. So if people are going to come out and hang out and watch the show, there's no sound, so they have to watch on their phones. They're standing behind me, watching it on their phones at all these game day things. So if they come out, like I feel obligated to talk to literally every person there. The amount of Zins that I've signed, every single place I go to, I sign.
Pat, sign my Zin,
please.
Sign my fucking Zin, please.
You're signing a Zin. And then I always write on there hey, have a good time here or whatever. And then I sign it. They're like, yeah, sign the Zin. For those that don't know, Zin is basically a tobacco pouch that doesn't have.
Yeah, it's basically just nicotine.
Yeah, it's a nicotine pouch that doesn't have tobacco in it.
Correct.
And people love it.
People love it.
Good for him.
Don't you start
kicking
with
the jaw?
Yeah, he kicked the jaw.
No, he probably was big time chaw dog, I would assume, and now he's trying to kick it. He's on the Zin.
Good man.
Getting better, getting healthier.
Yep.
Here you go, Taylor.
Put a couple Zins in and
Head home.
out of here.
That's awesome.
So I didn't want to bring it up whenever he was on. If you heard me talk about how he had water in an interesting cup, he did. He had a plastic cup that actually had a Busch Light can wrap on it.
Yeah, I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, so he was drinking water and Gatorade out of an interesting cup last night on a flight home, and we didn't want to show that in the photo because we don't want to get anybody to get any wrong impressions or in trouble or anything for having that potentially on a National Football League plane. But we all know that they have those cups everywhere. there.
Yeah.
And if you're a starting quarterback in the NFL, you're going to use that Busch Light cup that looks like a can just because it makes you feel comfortable, like you're back home doing what you got to do. And then water's put in there, Gatorade's put in
Keeps
there.
your water extra cold.
Boom. Yeah. It's like a liquid death can, but it's a cup.
Right.
And it has Busch Light designs on it. I've seen other designs on that.
Sure.
That's clearly what he was drinking.
Yeah.
Just from my eyes, first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's one of those cups that probably has water or Gatorade in it so he can rehydrate himself. Right, AJ? Isn't that what you thought?
Yeah, that's what all QBs do. I feel like on the way home from big wins. That's how they hydrate.
I've seen like wine bottles the cups that were like that looked like wine bottles.
Yep.
And then when you poured the water in, it would turn like either red or like a yellowy color.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's like a mind trick almost.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, that's a cup.
Chris Angel.
They're exactly. They're rehydrating. I've seen people do it in like Crown Royal.
Yeah, like whiskey bottles.
Yeah, like
Whiskey,
cups
yeah.
that look like whiskey
Yeah, a few
bottles.
times. Grey Goose.
I've seen that on planes before. I think I've seen a lot of the Bud Light cups, obviously.
Yeah.
A lot of the Bud Light
Those are
cups.
pretty popular.
Most of them.
Yeah. So vodka, I think there's a vodka cup.
Tequila cup.
I think there's a tequila cup.
Right.
All these things. But whenever you look at that, it's not alcohol.
No.
That is them hydrating with different cups to make them feel as if they're fitting in with their friends who would be drinking these types of things in these exact moments. If you win a massive game over an undefeated team, your friends that are your age and humans that have brains and personalities would normally enjoy a beer or something like that. Can't do that.
He knows
obviously.
he can't do that.
Professional athlete.
Right.
So he put they started making these cups. AQ, it was like middle of our career, I think, is when they started making these cups.
Yeah, it was about that. Yeah.
No. It's been actually
Since 1966.
Yeah, I think these cups have been around. Yeah.
No, I thought you told me you used to have to go get the industrial size Crown for
Cups. Yeah, the industrial Crown Royal bottle cups.
Yeah. The cup.
Yeah, they were cups. They look like bottles, but you take the top off, you see, that's
empty.
just a cup.
Right.
And then you could put anything in there. For
Usually water,
like a water
Gatorade,
bottle.
Yeah.
soda.
Pedialyte.
It's a good gift.
I thought he had the new exclusive Busch water. Because that was
Dude,
my
that's
initial
good as
thought.
fuck. Have you had it yet?
Well,
No, I've heard.
Maybe that's what that was. I don't
That's
know.
what I thought.
What we've been told is
So good.
because it potentially was apparently
No.
a Busch Light.
Apparently.
Son of a bitch.
That can't be true.
Apparently, no.
Is it clearly? Is it clearly though?
No. We're saying it's water, but there's
Yeah.
others
Okay,
that are
thank
saying that wasn't water. There's, I guess, a little bit of potential. There's something going on potentially. So, those that are wondering why we didn't mention that in our conversation with said person that was in the video holding the Busch Light cup that had water or Gatorade in it,
Right.
is because we didn't want to put said person in an interesting predicament because I guess there is a potential fallout ripple effect on that particular plane in that particular league is what is being said to me, which I did not know was a rule until a minute and a half before we went live with this guy who had the Busch Light cup with water in it. I did not know that. You knew that?
That changed. I don't know how many years ago it changed. They used to serve the coaches in first class, and then they had to stop that eventually because they don't want people getting DUIs on the way home. They land, and all of a sudden guys are slopping their way to their car and driving home.
Yeah, I think now is the right time to make that rule when Uber and things like that exist.
Sure.
Yeah, certainly.
And typically, guys who weigh like over 200 pounds, if you drink one light beer, you will get a DUI.
So that is why all these NFL teams have these cups that look like all these alcoholic beverages. It's nice to know that the Commander's cup of choice is a Busch Light beer can cup.
Yeah, that's sweet.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So thanks for hydrating last night. Thanks for being a role model.
Well, luckily, too, they didn't watch the game because they played so many Bud Light commercials. I had to drink 18 of them last night.
You were talking about the players didn't get to see those.
Players didn't get to see them, no. And if they did, they might have been tempted. But thank God they didn't.
Thank God it was just water in
Yeah.
there. All right, let's get to a break. We shouldn't have taken a break right now.
Don't have to.
Don't have to.
Never do.
Nope.
Do we miss a hard out?
No, because we're in like that interesting time right now. We don't have any of those anymore. Fucking rebels. I got asked by somebody. Are you still doing your hi? I'm from media thing. Are you still doing your show? Are you shopping around for a new home after Sirius dropped you or something like that? And I was like, okay, block this number.
That's an interesting way to look at
All right,
it.
I am not.
It's really tough to figure out for that person without asking you.
Well, yeah, they did. I honestly believe that. I read the question like 5 times, and I was like, so is this person oblivious? Is this person hoping that I respond in a way, that is bad? Like, what's the angle?
Yeah.
What's the angle?
What's the angle?
So adult Pat blocks number, doesn't answer.
See ya.
Thanks.
But I do believe there's people out there that don't know that we're still doing our show. So I guess business-wise, that'd be a bad decision to get off SiriusXM. But I guess there's 50-some thousand people watching right now.
Well, tell them to tell a friend.
Yeah.
Or something.
Tell some of these media people that we're still doing the program.
Jeez.
People thought we were dead when we left there.
Yeah.
Got dropped. Get the fuck out of here. Let's talk about some other stuff.
Hell yeah.
Got dropped? Is that real? Did we? Is that what happened? I guess.
Well, I mean, I thought you said you wanted to build your catalog like Conan O'Brien before ever trying to do something.
No, but they didn't make an offer, really, right? We never really got the business conversation. So I guess we did get dropped. Contract expired. Is that we did get dropped?
No, mutually agreed to part ways.
Yeah.
I don't know because they didn't make an offer.
But you.
I wouldn't
That's
have.
because mutually agreed.
Because they knew.
No.
Well, they did know because we did have a conversation about 4 or 5 months beforehand.
You let them
just
know.
laying some things out. Hey, these are my thoughts. And then never heard from person again.
I think that was pretty much sealed at Radio Row. There was one conversation I remember in particular. It was like, all right, well, it's been a good run.
Yeah, well, there was a couple things said, People are good. They're good people over there. I think there are a lot of very good people with Sirius.
What's the future for Sirius? Is Sirius going to stay in the same deal, like a subscription to the shows? Like I know they're big podcast stuff now. How's that work?
So Warren Buffett, right, owns Sirius, and he also owns all the cars. So Sirius is always going to live in all the new cars that come out. I think because Warren Buffett owns the radio that they're putting into those cars.
Yeah.
So I think Sirius will be around forever. I honestly believe they are a sustainable, survivable, will be around company. I think honestly, and the people we've met over there, good people. But the way it was phrased to me, like, are you still doing your show after you got dropped? It was like, oh, fuck, is that what some people think? That's great.
Huh.
That is awesome if that's how it is viewed. Because then when we come back somewhere, it's like rising from the ashes.
Like a phoenix.
Yeah, like a phoenix coming out of nowhere. Or we just stay on social media and garner, 40, 50 million.
Yeah.
Let's go to the phones. We don't have the phones. We don't have that figured out yet.
Not yet.
Let's talk about OBJ suing Nike, okay? For willfully withholding millions of dollars and inventing excuses not to pay him. This is fascinating because all the news around OBJ had been super positive, super positive. He's been cleared to play. Every team wants him. It's the Chiefs, the Bills, the Cowboys, the Rams.
Giants.
The Giants are in the game. I don't know about the Niners. I think the Niners should get in there. But all these teams, this is what the news was for OBJ. OBJ is coming back. He's going to take a couple weeks, get back into football shape, and figure out where he wants to go, although he has a team of 5. It's been like a recruit coming out of high school. Like, these are my final top 5 here, and they're all Super Bowl contenders. And when I decide which one I want to go to, I'm obviously going to be offered a contract.
Yep.
I'm obviously going to be given playing time. We're about 3 weeks away from the OBJ show is pretty much what the conversation was. Odell Beckham Jr. is coming back on the field, just like you saw him at the Super Bowl, just like you saw him after he got himself released from the Browns from OBS's video editing package that he put on his Instagram. He gets picked up at the Rams, touchdown, 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 touchdown. Odell Beckham Jr., Super Bowl MVP, blows out ACL, gets hurt. Now is he going to be a yearly hired assassin for teams that are going to go to the Super Bowl? Will Odell Beckham Jr. end up with like 5 Super Bowls with like 5 different teams over the next coming years? Could be the case. The only drama that we've heard from OBJ literally came yesterday from Odell Beckham Jr.'s account, in which he announced that he will be suing Nike because he doesn't think they're holding up their end of the bargain for the deal. Now, it's a bit wordy, but I do believe we have to read it. Being a Nike athlete and brand icon was a dream I've had since a young boy. I wanted to be the next Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, LeBron James, or Kobe Bryant in the Nike family. When Nike exercised its right of first refusal to match the Adidas offer, which Adidas, I think has some money that has opened up over the last couple. I don't know if you've heard about it. Chappelle referenced it in Who Founded Adidas in his opening monologue, which was like 30 minutes long, which... If you get a chance to watch Dave Chappelle's brain do its thing, you should. To match the Adidas offer, and not only kept me as a Nike athlete, but also made me one of their brand icons. My dream had been fulfilled.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, Nike did not honor its commitments. Throughout our partnership, I've kept my promise and fulfilled my obligations to the brand. I'm extremely disappointed that I've had to take these measures to ensure Nike fulfills their obligations and promises. Today, I'm taking a stand not just for me, no, but to set a precedent for all athletes who have dedicated their life to the sport they love, especially those who don't have the means to stand up for themselves. We are held responsible for fulfilling our obligations under our contracts, but we also have to hold the powerful companies like Nike accountable for honoring their commitments too. I look forward to resolving this issue and hope we can start a real conversation about protecting athletes and their rights. This happens too often in sports industry, in the sports industry, and it's time for a change. As this is now a legal matter, please refer any questions to my attorney, Daniel DeVilliers. So he said, this is what I'm going to say. Now, if you have anything else you'd like to hear, Mr. DeVilliers is the person that you shall talk to. Now, is this revolving around? There's always clauses in contracts. I've been a part of a lot of, rather large negotiations now at this point in my life. And there's always clauses for pay because the people who are paying somebody very rarely just want to fork over the money for no reason. That's just not how business operates. So there's always clauses. There's always expectations. There's always things that can get in there. Now, in a new contract that I guess was in previous contracts, but not all of them, force majeure is something that companies are adding into contracts so that they don't have to pay somebody if a world stoppage happens like COVID brought into. So literally every day there's new clauses getting brought into contracts because somebody had gotten fucked over by somebody somewhere, and the lawyer thought of a new situation that could potentially fuck over somebody somewhere. That's why contracts are 175 pages, and it's all bullshit. And most of the contract is like, oh, you're going to fuck me if in this entire deal. No, I'm going to fuck. We're going to, like, it's not a real partnership, really. Whenever you start reading through what the contracts actually read, it's mostly a cover my ass so I could potentially fuck you if I think you're fucking me. That's kind of what contracts are. I don't know when that happened. I don't think it was always that way. I think there was a lot of handshake agreements that have taken place in the past. And then once people started taking advantage of situations, and contracts had just become a mess of shit in which you have to have a lawyer and attorney read through it because all these clauses are worded in lawyer or attorney language so the common fuck can't understand what it is. Now, if you have a man like CFO Phil, who's very stubborn and is a former hockey goon, who also happens to have a big old brain and a numbers guy, and he's like, nah, we are going to read through every single one of these contracts, and we're going to dive through it, and we'll ask an attorney for sure on the things that we don't understand. And us sending shit to attorneys that we have to pay hourly just with a fucking circle around something like that, just literally a big square around something, and then we put a massive question mark, and then we write, what the fuck does this mean? And then we'll get like a synopsis basically from an attorney on what that is, and it's like, oh, we don't want that. So then we go, what? You're going to have to take that entire part out. We are not doing that. It's a much different way than business has been done in the past, I think, with a lot of people. But we've gotten to the point where we're able to do as such, and it's great to be here. I don't think everybody can do the business the way we do business. I don't think you should. We haven't been able to do business the way we do business now forever. You kind of got to get to this spot. But a good partnership is worth fucking gold. A good partnership is amazing. Having businesses that understand you and you understand the business, and everybody has the mindset of the same thing, which is not only propelling the brand forward, but also making the person that is endorsing it a much better person and a better business as well. It's a beautiful thing. Doesn't always happen. I think a lot of it revolves around the way contracts are structured. I hope those are changed in the future. You've heard fights about contracts, legalese for a long time. A lot of people are not happy about them. There's one going on right now, very loud, over in Hollywood with a man whose name is just 2 letters. But I would assume this revolves around him not playing this season. And if I had to just guess, there's some clause in there about him not being on a team for the first 10 weeks, and maybe that's why they hadn't paid as much. But Odell Beckham Jr.'s people probably say, hey, the numbers that you wanted from us, both digitally, socially, impression-wise, whatever, Odell's been everywhere. I've been on literally every single sideline. I've been on every single team. I've still been out there. I'm still Odell Beckham Jr. My followers have gone up. I got more followers now than I did whenever I was playing for the Cleveland Browns. So I'm assuming this is a volleyball back and forth of what's going on, but it's certainly over some sort of clause. I don't know if it's because he's not on a team. I'm just assuming that would make sense that some lawyer at Nike would try to take advantage of that particular clause to not give up money. And I like the fact that Odell's like, no, this ain't how shit has to be done. Whatever the case, I would like everybody to know we're on Odell's side. We hope Odell gets all of his fucking money, and we hope this gets resolved very quickly, even though we haven't heard a single thing about it, AJ, and that's probably a little biased if I had to guess.
I mean, yeah, I try to figure out what it could be too, because normally, like, you would sign a however many year deal. They lay out how much in merch he's going to get, how much cash he's getting. Obviously, I'm sure it's a giant deal. He's Nike. He's an international superstar. Yeah, I wonder if it's something like that. He hasn't played. If you're not on a team for a certain amount of time, and some snake lawyers trying to come in, hey, we can take some of those bonuses that we owed him or something. Like, maybe that's the case. Which, if it is, that's. Odell's coming back. It's been like the Odell show all year. Hey, where's he going to go? It's not like this dude is hiding.
Yeah, Odell's he's been babyface all year. Odell's been babyface all year. He's been talked about in a positive light literally all year because every team wants him. He's almost playing for like 7 teams because 7 different fan bases are like, hey, come to our team, which is probably what Odell and Mr. DeVilliers are saying to Nike. Like, hey, if it is about him not being on one specific team and playing on Sundays, I assume that there is a lot of counter that Odell and his lawyer have in this entire thing. But contracts are weird, dude. The way they're worded, the ability to not have to pay somebody is interesting. It's like people talk about you got to read through every contract that you sign. It's like, bro, some contracts are 300 fucking pages long and have no English language in it. It's a lot easier to say.
On purpose.
Yes. So you don't read through it and so that there's multiple outs. But this could just be, and we experienced this obviously a couple weeks ago, this is some person, and they think that if they're able to save a certain amount of money, they can go to the person that is their superior and say, hey, look at the money we saved the company. This is what we did. We have this clause. And there's people at Nike that probably have no idea this is happening. And then they see Odell's thing, and they're like, what the what just happened? And that's also a part of the problem of some of these mega companies that just the right hand has no idea what the left hand is doing. Let's assume this gets resolved, but I could see how this doesn't I don't know how this doesn't happen more often with the way contracts are kind of set up these days.
And who knows, I would imagine part of his gripe would be like, hey, I overperformed what your expectations were last year. Like, I caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl wearing Nike gloves and Nike cleats. Like, how many people were watching that, you know? And when they first did it, he was on, like, the Browns, so that wasn't an expectation. And then, you see what happened.
The gloves and cleats thing, I believe, is the actual...
That he altered the gloves and cleats? What did he do? Because he painted them, made them custom?
Oh, yeah, because he custom. You know, like if you put any spat on your shoes, they're like they used to get away with. You could spat like the top of your shoes as long as you had the swoosh showing. They used to draw swooshes on people's tape too, but Nike stopped that. Basically, when I was getting in the league, they stopped doing that.
Hey, so that's another one of those like that's in there.
Fine print.
Small.
No, it's not small. I think everybody knows it. Like, hey, it's in there. You can't do this. Because there'd be guys that have spatted their entire lives. I assume you were a guy that spatted your whole life. Under Armour let you, though, right?
It was in my deal, yeah, because my rookie year, I was with Under Armour.
Click.
It was their first year of having cleats, so they didn't know how good their cleats would be. So they said, yeah, you can wear whatever cleats you want. I ended up wearing Under Armours, and I spatted. The good thing is I had to spat because they weren't. They didn't have their agreement yet with the NFL, so I had to.
Oh, you had to cover up the Under Armour. So you're almost like a rebel wearing the Under Armour. And Under Armour probably appreciated the fact that, oh, he's wearing Under Armour, but he's taping it up. Like, it's almost, that's better marketing for them. I don't know why you would utilize that as, and I assume they added in more things.
And if he's doing that, they're telling him in real time, like after the game, they're reaching out to him and his agent saying, hey, we don't want you painting your cleats. We want our cleats how we can sell them on the shelves at stores, I guess.
I don't know why that would be a battle you would pick.
Yeah, with
$2
him,
million?
not with him. With other
million?
people, I would argue with other people. But with Odell, I'd be like, we can let him as long as he's wearing Nikes, we're all right.
$2 million, a lot of money. Okay, when I was growing up, $2 million, $2 million, lot of fucking money. Okay, not diminishing how much money $2 million is to a lot of people on earth, including all of us on this stage. You know, now still, and also growing up. I'm not diminishing that. But to Nike, $2 million is what you're going to cause a gripe with Odell Beckham Jr. And it's like, yeah, we saved $2 million. It's like, did you?
It could impact future guys too signing with Nike. They know Odell he has a huge platform. People listen to him. What if he some other young studs in college are thinking about going Nike? And I remember what they did to Odell.
This was the fear of every college coach, that every scholarship in college is a one-year deal. They can pull it after 1 year. They can pull your scholarship. But no coaches would, because they get scared that high school or high schools around there will hear like, oh, this coach offers a scholarship, and then he pulls them. So then guys would try to run people out of the school. Like, all right, I can't pull a scholarship because that would make me look bad amongst other potential recruits. But we can certainly have a conditioning period for certain people that is going to last 2 hours long every fucking day of the summer. And we'll see, if they want to.
Yeah.
Hey, it's easy. You can just kind of give us
It'll start at 5 a.m. Start at 5 a.m. You get a 2-hour workout before the workout for this group of guys.
And we think you need it because we think you get even better from this and that whole thing. And then they're trying to run fucking guys. They're trying to run guys out of the building. That's what they're trying to do. They're scared. But it's because they're scared to take their scholarship because the ripple effects. It's like, for $2 million, is it worth it? Is that?
And I wonder, how many people at Nike knew about it until this Odell made this public, I don't know how many knew that this was an issue.
Yeah. Phil Knight's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We're dealing with.
Come on.
I don't know if you saw the video that Freedom put out. Enos Freedom? Is that his name?
Oh, did he change it?
Yeah.
I believe Enes Kanter.
Yeah, it was Enes Kanter.
The artist formerly known as Enes Kanter.
Yeah, I think his
Yeah.
name is Enos Freedom now.
Oh, yeah.
He put a video out last week. Phil Knight's like, Enos Freedom's putting a video out. Now we got Odell Beckham Jr. saying we won't pay him. We got billions of dollars just stacking. What are we doing? Why would you? I don't understand why you would do it, especially with a brand icon. Like that was
And
his
they're
big
paying.
thing.
Nike's paying. Have you ever seen those NBA players? Like, there's guys that play 3 minutes a night that are getting $5 million a year from Nike just for their shoe deal.
Yeah.
Like
Seems
that's
like
how crazy it is in basketball.
Seems like a miscommunication. Hopefully they'll get it handled.
How doesn't Nike just pick up like the alterations and be like, all right, these are the shoes he wears the way he does it, right? And
Well,
just make more
'Cause
money.
they can't
off that?
mass produce those.
Yeah, I don't know how often.
And the artist,
I don't know,
whoever
they would figure
made
it
those
out.
cleats or whatever, would have an issue maybe.
Yep.
I think all of us, though.
They want to be able to sell it.
So
they want to
he-
be able to sell to dicks and
Yeah,
online.
but we all think they're Nikes, though. When we see the cleats, we're like, those are Nikes.
But you can't go buy those. You can't go buy those exact cleats. Nike wants you to be able to go buy exactly what Odell's wearing.
Hey, we need your cleats to look much worse, okay? Because we're paying.
Exactly.
Don't make him cool.
So he didn't get paid by Nike, and he didn't get paid by the Rams either because Bitcoin's dead. So
I mean, I guess there is no Nike swoosh on that. But
Not a single one.
Yeah,
you can see it right on the front there.
there's that cool pirate logo though.
No, you see next to the.
Is it gloves too?
down there, but
Yeah,
beneath
bottom
the
right.
right X.
Yeah, right next to
Oh,
the
there
X.
it is.
Yeah, right there. You can see the swoosh.
He's actually trying to put that in.
Yeah, look.
Look.
Check it out. Look.
All right, let's get to a break. Hour 3 will be on the other side with Aaron Rodgers, fresh off a victory over Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. They play on Thursday night. He'll be live from Lambeau. It'll be shorter than normal Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, but I believe the spirits will be very high.
Oh, yeah.
Be a friend, tell a friend. That's on the other side. Take 5.
He's saying don't go off the top, it's too shallow.
See that belt buckle?
All you're going to hear this stadium do is they put the big paw up, they start shaking it, they go, whoa. Hey, look, things are going good, Mason. Yeah, he loves the defensive side of the ball. He said yesterday to me that this is a blue-collar team. They win it on special teams. They have 5 block kicks this season. The defensive side of the ball, Lynch leads the Big 12 in sacks. But also on the offensive side, Denzel Mims is an absolute animal. He is a weapon. Charlie Brewer, the quarterback from Lake Travis. His dad was a quarterback in Texas.
Yeah.
His grandpa was a quarterback in Texas. And the people here in Waco just so happen to get a chance to see Charlie Brewer on a daily basis. Hey. Yeah, boomer here is going to mean a little bit different than what it means on the internet currently. And hopefully here in Baylor, they hope they're not hearing a lot of boomer sooner. Everybody wants to be a punter, including quarterbacks. If I was a quarterback, I'd want to be a punter as well. 0 yards on that punt. That's an embarrassing situation. The Dak dance that gets on national television has led to a lot of losses, but you got to respect the hips being able what sign am I going to make for college game day? Well, I want to make something creative. I want to make something fun. No, to hell with it. I don't like OU. It's so thick. Look how thick that thing is. That's years and years of patience. You're heading right for the boat. Right now? Okay, let's do it. We are out here on the Brazos River, which you can take a boat to the game. One of the only stadiums in the country that you can do that. It's beautiful out here. A lot of people would say, this is the last time I'm going to be on game day. The last time I allegedly did what I'm about to do, I ended up in a jail cell. Let's go! Bad decision. The poop kickers are getting
a sellout, by the way. That was beautiful.
Do we have any other shirts? Yeah, hold on.
You need to go get changed before you get sick.
Great work, Russia.
I'm actually not that cold. Hey, I went for it. My chest hurts.
It was like 5 feet. I was standing there.
That's full commitment, by the way.
Dable coming in there now, and you got an entire new operation. What are you looking forward to change the path here of how your career has gone thus far? I think everybody watching the Giants goes like, man, it'd be awesome to see him on a fully ready-to-go team because of how talented you are, how electrifying you are. Out of nowhere, the game can change with you. It's awesome. You and Jonathan Taylor, very similar styles running, two very different programs right now. Whenever you look ahead to the future, versus what you've been through already in your early career, what are your thoughts and what are your projections?
Well, I think you got to learn from what happened in the past. Obviously, we're going into our third head coach, but with Shermer, with Judge, obviously it was unfortunate that they got fired. But
hey, that's not normal, by the way. You're very young.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
This is not a normal thing.
So like you take what you take from that, you learn. They did some great things that we're going to have to be able to carry over, and we got to be able to keep the core. You know, we got some talented players. We have very talented players. We got to find a way to stay healthy. We got a whole new system, whole new coaching staff coming in. So it's new. The energy is going to be different. As players, we get a chance to prove ourselves again.
Yeah.
That's something big. That's something that I'm looking forward to prove myself and show there's different things I can do in my game to help this team win. And it's I know it's been rough, but like the past couple, we're not that far, and I truly believe that we're not that far. We have the talent. Now we bring in the right pieces, the right coaching staff. Obviously, we got to go in the draft well, bring some guys in free agency.
Do you ever think about dabbling more on the internet? I know you don't really do it much, but you are
never,
beloved on there, Chuck.
Hey, Pat, never going on the internet.
Chuck!
Never go. No, because two things. Number one, once you're successful, I always say, being successful is like being the homecoming queen. All the ugly bitches hate you. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. When you're successful, you're gonna have built-in enemies. And then the more successful you become, the more enemies come at you. So I don't want to give them access to me because I'm not that guy. If you say something mean to me, I gotta say something mean back to you. When I was younger, I used to.
Hey,
what?
Let's go. This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome. On this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 15th, 2022, Hour 3 starts right now.
Football!
Just wrapped up its Week 10 NFL slate, and we are honored to not only be joined by college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, COVID survivor, AJ Hall. The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs is here, and host of In the Trenches. How many years in the NFL?
12.
12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl winning coach, ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, wrong camera. It's okay. You tried your best.
I saw that thing coming.
Just know that he gave a little happy wave at home right at the camera. Wrong camera. It was a Jabba. Here's at a baby Jabba. Baby Jabba. Joining us now live from the practice facility, a man who's prepping for a Thursday night football. Taking off Rabes.
Yeah.
Oh
my God! I just saw Rabes' face with a big old Zin in his pouch. There, having a good. Ladies and gentlemen, preparing for Thursday night football, fresh off a victory over the Dallas Cowboys with a reunion of a lot of his former coaches. The back-to-back NFL MVP, ladies and gentlemen, the 11th all-time rusher for the Green Bay Packers. He has amassed 3,436 yards on the ground. Freak show athlete, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron, let's dive right into it. Big win over Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys. How are the vibes? Is this the one that you guys needed? Here we are. We're back, baby.
Well, we needed one for sure. It's been a long time. It was a long 6 weeks for a lot of us. Am I glitching?
No, you're perfect. You're perfect.
I was glitching, wasn't I?
I mean, certainly were, but I didn't want that to kind of distract from the great message. You had a great message going on, man.
I'm just in the bowels of Lambeau Field right now.
I love that.
On a short little break between walkthroughs here. But yeah, it feels good to win. It's a long 6 weeks for the boys.
Yeah, long. Go ahead, AJ.
What was it like seeing your old coach, seeing Mike McCarthy? We saw him wearing a sweet duster out there pregame when he was shaking Ed Werder's hand, I believe. But what did you talk to him pregame, after the game? How was it?
Yeah, we got to spend some really meaningful time before the game. I got to the stadium early. He was already there, and we had about 40 minutes to catch up. Really special conversation. Just him and I. I knew there was going to be, cameras and different things around us that wouldn't allow for us to kind of have a real conversation on the field or even post-game. You never really had the opportunity, definitely not privately. So the chance to get to talk to him one-on-one was really special, and just share some great memories and a lot of love and gratitude for the time we had together. And that was a really, really, really meaningful moment for me. I got to see Joe Philbin and hug him after the game. I've always loved Joe and appreciate him and have so much respect for that man and his help in my development. A lot of other guys I didn't get a chance to see, Jeff Blasco, Joe Witt, Al Harris. I texted with Scotty Tolzien, but didn't get to see a lot of those guys afterwards.
Yeah, you sent him back to the Big D with a big L. You know what I mean? Thanks for coming back, boys. Great to see you. But I think as somebody who didn't know you at the time, whenever the Mike McCarthy era was ending, there was always a conversation you two did not get along. Was that ever true? Was that blown out of proportion? And you could see how it could be true when two people are together for however many, 15 years or whatever. And then how did you guys get over that? And how often have you chatted since he was no longer your head coach until this moment?
Well, I think there's an exaggeration of, the rifts between us. I think in any relationship that lasts 13 years, think about being Laura Hawk and putting up with AJ they got married in 2006, 5 really. So that's like 17 years with this guy and all his terrible body smells and his hygiene. And his, limited diet of just eggs and chicken. What a sick that person is. You don't think she's got through some days going, what the hell am I doing with this guy?
Yeah.
He's got a weak little baby chest over here from his pec. Any relationship that lasts a long time, there's always going to be some things you go to. But I would say, and I don't want to compare me and Mike's relationship to AJ and Laura, but at the root of our relationship is a ton of love and respect for each other. And even when we had issues over the years, we always finished the conversation with, I love you and I appreciate you, and a hug, and then we went on our way. And it was no different seeing him this time, maybe a little bit more love and gratitude as the years have gone by, and appreciation continue to just go up, and how important, he was in my career, giving me an opportunity, sticking with me, helping me grow as a player and a person. And then, I hope and I think he feels the same way, a type of gratitude for our relationship and the time we spent together.
Time heals all wounds, they say, and only the bangers survive. So I'm happy to hear that you got to reminisce about the great times together on Sunday. Speaking of great times, it seems like you and Christian Watson seems like you guys are going to have a lot of those ahead of time. What do you think it was that made him flip the switch this week? Because there was a time on the sideline after the first couple of drops where you apparently said, hey, I'm coming back to you. 3 touchdowns later, that can change an entire career, right? Are we wrong in thinking that from outside? It feels like that was a welcome to the NFL moment for Christian, and how excited are you for him?
I think it can be, for sure. What changed it was the over-the-shoulder catch. That was a difficult catch. Yeah, nice inside release. He reverse stacked to a catchable ball, and he made, his first, real big play in the league. And then he went down and showed us what he showed us in practice a few weeks ago. Did a backflip, just kind of showing the world how athletic he is. There were obviously other moments at times for him to have, some big plays. Didn't happen, but I really feel like this can be a course correction to who knows what type of level for anybody when you go out on national TV and you have that kind of performance. I don't care if it's Devontae Adams or a rookie. When you go out and ball out and have 3 touchdowns in a game on national TV at a primetime slot on Fox like that against a really good opponent, that's got to help the confidence. So really happy for him and excited to see what comes out of this.
Hey, it's like an I belong almost. Like some guys need to. I'm not saying that, he's had a terrible start or whatever, but that moment of like, I belong here just changes the way you operate in every meeting rooms, I think, like meals, even at home. I think it's like a whole different mindset. Can't wait to see what he does next. Ty, your question for Aaron.
Aaron, a little two-parter here. First, how's the body feeling after you had that just fucking massive block late in the game to kind of spring Aaron Jones, for a nice little gain there? I mean, without that block, who knows? What we might be talking about a 5-10 yard loss. You guys are looking at punting, but instead, we're moving the chains and just you're putting your body on the line, which we love to see. And also, could you feel in the locker room kind of like just like a collective weight off everyone's shoulders? Do you even get really time to enjoy it, or not really, because you guys' back still kind of against the wall and you have to turn around and prepare for a game on Thursday already?
Yeah, the body feels pretty good. That was, a little bit of redemption for me. I've had a couple block attempts this year that haven't gone as well as I would have liked. So to be able to stalemate a defender running close to full speed at me felt like a win. And it did allow Jonesy to get outside, which also allowed him to get face masked, which got us half a distance to the goal line.
Yeah.
So a potential, 0 yard gain turned into a positive gain for us. And I feel good about that because I really didn't. I wasn't on the losing end of that, which feels good. When it comes to the team, I felt like Christian Watson, his performance kind of took that 800-pound gorilla off his back probably. For our team, it's been a rough 6 weeks. Been a really tough stretch. Bad ball since London. So I think we all kind of reset maybe after Detroit, that being a real low point for us and hopefully rock bottom. And I think we played a little bit more free. Now, there were times in that game where I don't know if people thought we were going to win that game. 28-14 in the fourth, but stuck with it. We made some plays when we had to at a 4th down and then put together a really nice drive to tie it. Then obviously had a chance at in regulation when it went a certain way, and then had a good drive in overtime.
Foxy, rock bottom there. Sorry about it. AJ, your question for Aaron.
What was it like to actually I love that you guys got to enjoy a win. Like I said, I texted Pat when the Tampa Bay won early in Germany. Like they were so Tom was pumped. They won a game. Like good, you should be excited when you win. But a lot of times when all you do is win, people just keep moving on to the next one and don't really enjoy it. I was glad you had to enjoy it. What was that locker room like? You get to see a lot of young guys, I would assume, in a little different light than the last 5-6 weeks.
Well, shoot, it's been a tough stretch. We're all human. We've been dealing with a lot of frustration, and obviously I'm sure there's been a ton of criticism outside the locker room, and some guys probably read that shit and take it to heart maybe more than other guys. And it's nice to quiet that down a little bit, I'm sure. For us, it's just a confidence builder, that we're not out of this thing. This thing is not over. We're not scheduling our off-season plans yet. We're still in this thing. Anybody can beat anybody. Saw last night the Commanders beat the Eagles in Philly. We've got a short week now against another good opponent, but we got it at home, the national TV, prime time. We've got a great opportunity to take another step in the right direction. The NFC pretty wide open, I'd say. We just got to get ourselves back in the conversation, and Sunday night was the first step in the right direction. But we're gonna enjoy it too. Like, winning is fucking hard in this league, and we're not gonna, act like we've been there every single time in this weird, stoicism mindset. This is the human experience. We're going to enjoy the heck out of it. I know I did. I had, a healthy pour of scotch. And a cigar, and I had a nice little night.
Did you? What type of scotch was it again?
Let's see. I went with a little Japanese.
What?
And I also did a little Balvenie the 21.
What? Teeny? That's awesome to hear,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I'm happy to hear you have a good time. And you guys, especially the last couple of years that we've been doing Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, you just win. That 6-week run, kind of puts things in perspective. I'm happy to hear that you guys celebrated it. At the end of the game, there was a moment where I think you were caught on camera saying, LaFleur, good fucking call, I think is what you said. And then in the press conference afterwards, you talked about, the play calls on that particular drive and your thoughts on it. Have you talked to LaFleur? LaFleur addressed it, said that was on him. It was a little different situation. But when those things happen on the sideline, what is it like the day after with LaFleur, and what is your relationship like today?
I haven't talked to him, so I have no idea if he's being an angry elf right now or if he's in a good mood. Look, Manny and I talk all the time, and last week we had a really cool moment, conversation back and forth, and there was a lot of love and gratitude shared, and that kind of set the perspective for the week, I think. And then, I was pissed about the calls. I answered honestly. I mean, he was pissed about them too. So he actually followed me after my press conference, and he had been watching so he had seen what I'd said, and he made a little barb as I was walking out of that green room about it. We had a couple laughs, and then I told him how much it meant to me, conversation from Friday, and we hugged it out, and that was that.
I think that type of emotion, though, that you've shown continues to show everybody, like, hey, this guy is incredibly invested. There was a lot of conversation about how long will Aaron Rodgers play football? Does Aaron Rodgers care about football anymore? That Dallas Cowboys game felt like it was bigger. Did it feel like it was bigger because McCarthy was coming back in there? 6-game losing streak, obviously, but was there a vibe around Lambeau because Big Mike was back there, primetime game? Did it feel like a must-have-it game for you guys, and is that how you treated it?
Well, first of all, it's a 5-game losing streak.
Oh, sorry about it.
But we had to deal with that for that extra week. That's why I said the long 6 weeks. But
shit, the bye week, yeah. That's what I mean.
About Mike coming back or Joe coming back or any of those guys coming back. It was about wanting to still have meaningful football games in November and December. And the only way to do that was to win against a good opponent Sunday afternoon game. So I've, myself and the other Aaron, we've had some good games over the years against the Dallas Cowboys. And I expected him to play well, expected personally to play well, and knew if we could make enough plays, we had a chance to hang around and to beat them. Obviously, third quarter was a couple things went against us, but we played a near flawless fourth quarter and then had a great drive to finish that thing off. And our defense obviously came up with a couple big stops in the fourth and obviously in overtime on fourth down.
Titans on Thursday. Anytime a team is coached by Vrabel, you actually said it earlier in the year when we were mocking overreaction, and I said, the Titans are dead, and that got clipped to me saying that, and then you cut a promo. Is Vrabel still the football coach of the Titans yet? Then they're not fucking dead or whatever. I got buried from it, but, nonetheless, you cut a promo for Vrabel. Their defense is always going to be sound. Their defense is always going to be solid. Their team has the identity of Vrabel, which is just, super tough Ohio. Not as tough as Luke Fickell, what I'm learning, the head coach of Cincinnati, but super tough Ohio guy. What are you looking forward to preparing against here on Thursday night? And what did you learn about the Packers offense on your offense on Sunday that maybe you can carry on for the rest of the year?
We have the potential to score 30 points in the game. That's what we learned.
Hell yeah.
We finally got 30. Real good defense. They're leading in third down percentage. They got like 29 sacks on defense. They got a bunch of takeaways. They're top 10 in red zone defense. They got studs at every level. The front line, the linebackers, the back end play really well together. Good scheme. Mike's a great coach. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. I always appreciate our conversations that we have throughout the year. I always enjoy talking to him, about ball or about ripping heaters or whatever it might be. But I always have a ton of respect for Mike, and his teams are always ready to play. And so we're expecting the tough four-quarter game, and we like our chances. We're rolling with as much momentum as we can after one win. And hopefully we've exercised some of those energetic demons, and we can follow up Sunday with another good performance Thursday.
Exercise the demon. Sorry about it. Go ahead, AJ.
Oh, you're good. How do you like this Thursday night? This quick turnaround. You're playing Sunday, now Thursday. You win. It's a great long weekend, most likely. Is your body able to handle this at your age?
Yeah, you're old.
I'm feeling like it's a Tuesday. My body's a little sore for sure. But we're just doing walkthroughs today, so I'll be fine. I need that. Need to get a rub down or something to feel a little bit better. Maybe later on. Hopefully be ready to go by Thursday.
A lot of guys give massages to make their body feel better. That is obviously what Aaron was talking about. I'm excited to hear that. Can't wait to watch you on Thursday. Thank you for making the time in the middle of a busy Tuesday here with Thursday Night Football around the corner. Congrats on the win. And I know we won't do a book club book this week, but I want to let you know I've started on one from last week. If you could see here.
The coloring book. You got it.
The only thing I've colored is Keanu Reeves' belts have all been colored black because this guy is a black belt, obviously. You know what I mean? I've gone through the entire thing and really, yep, even there.
Yep.
Nice. I'm gonna have to find maybe a Chuck Norris one next.
Well, Keanu Reeves is my Chuck Norris. You like Steven Seagal too, or no? Are you into all the? Yeah.
Under Siege and Hard to Kill are two bangers.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Amen.
Shout out Ryback.
So quick. All right. Good luck on Thursday. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. The back-to-back MVP, Aaron Rodgers. All right. What did we learn? We learned that LaFleur stuck around in the press conference to see. All right.
This son of a bitch.
Let's see what we're going to have to answer for tomorrow.
What's he gonna say?
And then Aaron said, yeah, basically every play I didn't like. And then LaFleur came out and said the same thing. That's one of those situations, high pressure, lot going on, only have a certain amount of time to make the decision. Are they going to be able to get on the same page, hopefully going forward with this particular situation occurring? I think it'll help. The playoff thing a couple years ago taking place where you take Aaron off the field, that's another big conversation piece. So they're continuing to grow. They're continuing to make their thing. What did you think about him? He was in great mood there. He attacked you, though. He attacked you pretty hard.
Good Lord. It's easy to deflect, and that's always his go-to. I get it. When he doesn't want to be asked tough questions, just deflect and come at me, which is fine. I'm an adult. I can handle it. I'm almost 40. But, I think he seems to be in great spirits. Quick turnaround. They're going to be playing Thursday night already. But yeah, I think things look good. He called what? He said LaFleur was going to check if he was an angry elf. He called him. I don't know. Is that news to me? Is that what he says when he's upset?
I did hear the little angry elf comment. I think it's because we're getting into holiday season.
Yeah, exactly.
Holiday season.
Santa and
That's
stuff.
all it
Nice
is.
of him.
Yeah. He wasn't saying that he was just a little fella.
No. Although he is.
Whoa.
Problem.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I think he was saying, good fucking call here.
Yeah.
I wasn't 100% sure, but I think that's what he said. And then his press conference, he said something different. So mixed signals from this guy all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is.
What are you going to do?
He also has a zoom in on his face more than any other quarterback in the NFL.
By far.
So every time he takes that thing off, you see it.
They're ready.
Every one of his.
Before that, it was Eli, right?
Wow.
Well, Eli's face was shown a lot, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was zoomed in as much or if it was just the same face copy pasted on the internet.
Exactly.
Get him saying fuck.
But I appreciate Aaron joining us there. And, he said we can score 30. That's a big deal. Christian Watson having 3 touchdowns. That's a big deal. Seems like he's carrying himself a little bit differently. I mean, that's a whole new world that guy's in. All right, let's get to a break. We'll react to some of the reaction of what he just talked about, even though we weren't able to chat about too much because he's in the middle of a work day. And then we'll dive into guess what?
What's that?
What's that?
Yes.
We'll go in the trenches.
Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
The host of In the Trenches is here, and he has been obviously all day. And I think in the first hour, he was not able to accomplish a feat to give away $500 to 10 people.
It was close.
But in this hour, at this exact time, Alan Quay Shipley of Moon Township is about to take a football and throw it into that hoop right over there. And when he does, how many people are going to win, AJ?
12.
No.
Well,
Can't
come
do
on.
that.
Goes down,
Come on.
not
Can't
up.
do that. Can't do that. Can't
10.
do that. All right, same amount of winners because of how bad the last attempt looked the last time. He threw 3 balls. The first 2 were good. Last one was terrible.
So bad.
Almost landed at the free throw line. Didn't know somebody could be that far off, to be honest with you. AQ figured out a way to do as such. Now, with 10 people winning $500 who randomly retweet this and reply with saying something nice to somebody and putting their cash tag in there, will they win $500 or will they not, AQ, out of Moon Township in Pennsylvania?
Put it in the breadbasket, AQ.
You miss Jay Glazer. He's in Cutter.
Motivation.
He's a part of your fight club. Would you like to say anything else to him, Jay?
Hey Q, you don't make this. I'm gonna fucking beat your ass next time I see you. 1 tooth, baby. Coming right down Broadway, right down Main Street.
What's your move, Jay? What is your move?
Well, AQ, he keeps his hands up. Boom. I'm going right to the spleen, maybe throw a shin kick. And then, I'm coming with a big overhand right and knocking his big dumb ass out.
AQ Shipley is a part of a fight club with Jay Glazer. We are not lying right now. That man is in a fight club with this man.
Here comes the boogeyman, AQ.
All right.
Oh, is that his move? Or?
He got me. He did Jay Glazer's move on me.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah, he showed us those 7 kicks too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, on That's Hockey Talk tomorrow night. Those were
good plug.
They were question mark kicks, but really
you can do a question mark kick?
No, he can do a
That's a tough
7
kick.
kick though. He can certainly take that thing straight up and then over. I don't know if there was any whip in that whole thing or not.
Fucking hamstring, just cramp.
Don't need a hamstring to put a
Come
ball in
on.
a hoop though, do you? No. Hey, let's go, A.
Go, Al.
AQ.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, close.
Not really, but
like, yeah. Question: is that Luke Rockhold? He's good at it.
10 people could win $500 if.
Yikes.
Okay. It's
This one's gonna be good.
It's getting
That was
worse
closer
again.
than it looked. That was almost in.
Actually, you're not here. I was going to tell you, I don't know how close that looked, because that was not
That
that
was not
close.
close.
Pretty close.
No.
Pretty close from Ohio.
No,
It's
I know
pretty
it from Ohio. I can see how you could think that because you're in Ohio or whatever, and it did hit the backboard, but that thing had no chance.
No
It's a
shot
big
whatsoever.
backboard.
I mean, left his hand, said, "No way that
It's
makes
closer
it."
than Michael Cole's putts. That's for sure.
Wow.
sure.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but Cole's a mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first try here, AQ Shipley. If he makes this, we'll give 10.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
That one was.
That's devastating. You might never
Next
recover.
one's in. This one's in.
Shotgun.
Here we go.
No, let him take it from under
See the
center.
cadence.
What's the
Get in there.
cadence?
Get him some good pressure.
Oh, silent count.
Oh, sacked because you can't.
Jesus
Come
Christ.
on.
Hey, take one from under center.
Yeah,
Pat.
you
Give
just
him one.
disappointed that man, AQ.
Sorry, we don't have any balls left.
Dang it.
All right, no winners. You get nothing.
Nope.
Jay, do you want to give him a little motivation before they
I
hit the trenches?
apologize.
AQ, that was fucking pathetic, pal. Okay, you better fucking get your shit together by the next time we throw. Otherwise, I'll take a page out of what they're doing here in guitar, and next time I see you, I'm gonna cut your head off or your
All
fingers.
right, all right. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Goddamn
All right.
right.
Might be getting too comfortable over there, Jay. All right,
Enjoy the World Cup, everybody.
All right, starts next week. America's got a game on Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern against
I
Wales.
thought it was 2 p.m.
No, I think it's 1 p.m.
Is it 1 p.m.? Okay.
I think maybe 2 p.m.
Might be 2
I
p.m.
think it's 2 p.m.
I think my phone somehow is in the central time zone. I
Jay
don't
on
know
the
if someone
sideline?
hacked my iCloud.
I think Jay will be on the sideline.
Dropping the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's coming in like Jackson DeVille.
Yeah.
He's coming
He is.
from the roof of the
With a gi on.
Shipping Container
shipping
Stadium.
container stadium.
Yep.
Jay Glazer's at the top in his suit.
Yep.
Holding the soccer ball. And then everybody's going to be like, Jay, you okay? And he's like, I'm doing it. He jumps and like, oh, no. And then there's a bunch of boom,
Yep.
boom,
Well,
boom. And then he's dropping the ball. Here you go for the start of World Cup.
Jay's built. I don't know if those shipping containers can handle that type of fucking bungee action.
He is powerful, huh?
Yeah.
Powerful.
They'll be able to handle it. There's 15 to, 1,800 bodies inside those shipping containers.
Yeah, that's not a bungee cord. That's someone's large intestine.
Okay.
Boom.
All right.
And it does not budge.
Well, I think it does, actually. That's part of the whole thing. To bring back AJ's point, do you guys have like team names with gis that you all wear? Like, you know how jerseys happen when you're on a
That'd be
team?
so sweet.
Like
In your
average
fight
Joes.
club, do you all have gis, like with your names across the
What
back?
color is your belt?
No, I don't do anything on the ground, so I don't wear that. I'm shorts and a t-shirt.
You shouldn't do. You should.
I'm
not get on
telling
the
you, I'm
ground.
gonna wear the t-shirt on next week.
Buy in, dude.
Why doesn't he just try a little harder and get one of those?
Don't
See
go
one
to
of
the
those?
ground, AQ. You start going to the ground, it gets highly erotic. I would not fucking suggest
Easy over
going
there.
to the ground.
Yeah, people start rolling together. They start dating each other in Costa Rica all of a sudden.
Well,
That's what we're looking for. I haven't finished this particular one. This is my next. This is my next effort.
Fucking great start, if we're being honest.
Yeah, you've been locked in on that
Yeah, it
coloring
is.
book all week.
Thank you.
did you actually color in the belts?
What?
AJ.
Yep. That's all I need to know. That pause.
What are you talking about? I
mean?
did.
You don't know.
I actually did. Look at this
Whoever
one.
did a very good job of
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think
Not
I did.
going outside the line. They were already black, weren't they?
No. You don't know shit.
What do you think this is, dude? What do you think this is?
Triple black. You said triple black belt last week.
Well, I went over it 3 different times. I mean, fucking how dark can it get? They don't put enough belts in it, so I think I'm what I'm realizing. Anyways, thank you, Aaron, for Aaron Rodgers, too.
There it is.
What happened? Oh, no. What is that?
Don't tell anybody.
Wait, why is he doing that?
Don't tell anybody, AQ.
Have a little fun.
It's a set of ballers playing a prank on Dwayne.
Smart.
All right. Let's reset. Okay?
Okay.
Let's get out of here.
Is Ballers still happening?
Yeah.
No, it's over.
Canceled.
Black Adam broke all the records, I guess.
Wow.
So good.
Well, actually,
No.
Until it got fucking crammed on.
it didn't break any records.
Yeah.
And then Black Panther dominated it in one weekend.
Yeah, but Dwayne's happy about that.
Wow.
It's box office smash after box
Course.
office smash. What are you
Because he's
talking
the
about?
best, humble in losing and winning, and he's a good businessman. He knows good business.
Wakanda
he's
forever
pumped.
just Vince Cartered him
Yeah.
right out of the box office.
Sure, he's really excited that his superhero movie's getting dunked on by Marvel.
Don't wait till the next one. What are we even talking about? This is the second Black Panther movie, right?
Yes.
Sure.
Rest in peace
Yes.
to
Yes.
Rid-
Chadwick.
Wait till the next Black Adam movie. It'll be the same.
Yes.
People didn't know what they were getting on
Thank
this.
you for
Yeah.
that.
No
and
problem.
It'll be 2035.
I'm going to tell you, too, Young Rock has been amazing. Episode 3 coming out this Friday. So good.
All right, I'm usually studying. I need to turn that
When's the
on.
Hulkster coming on?
He's been on for 2 episodes. He has killed it.
Yeah, I've been watching SmackDown. I
What?
can't get enough of the Tribal Chief. So I
Hulkster's on
can't.
Young Rock.
Yes.
All right,
Wait.
let's reset.
Let me tell you something, Dewey.
You know, let's
real
reset.
Hulk?
Yeah, before his run, when he was still Hulk.
Oh.
He's Terry.
Who's the actor playing?
Thank you. Yes,
Terry Bollea.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Let's get to a break. Let's talk football.
It was an
Yeah.
It's an odd tape he had. That was weird.
Easy.
It's got a bunch of odd stuff.
Get a Fiji bottle, Pringles can. Just being spied on at the same time.
He
not
tucked that
fair.
thing into those wrestling shorts.
I don't know. Did he tie it around his thigh?
I don't know.
Have to, dude, when you have a dick as big as mine, it doesn't fit inside the Hulkster, pajamas very easily. That looks just like the Hulkster, dude.
All right, let's get to a break. We will, Mr. T, also a part
That's
of it.
from the show?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was episode 1 there.
It's not a Halloween costume.
Dude,
Wait, is that both the real guys?
That's why it's good casting.
Hulkster's arms are so much bigger than that guy's.
Hold on though, that belt buckle is awesome.
Yeah.
From Mr. T.
Yeah, it is.
This is awesome. I got to watch.
Friday nights, Dwayne Johnson makes bangers.
Set your TiVo.
I've not seen Black Adam yet, but I did see the photo that he posted. He's shredded.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that thing.
Yoked.
Thank you for your service to society, Dwayne.
Thank you, Dwayne.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here for 5 minutes, go to the bathroom, try to reset this thing. Okay, let's try to re-dive back into
Lock in,
football.
guys. Lock in.
Let's react to the reaction from ART. Let's do in the trenches. Let's bounce around the NFL and really put a bow on this incredible Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 15th. Sorry, AQ has yet to win anybody any money.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he won't do as such at the end of this show. Take 5! Big brain football. Breaking news. The Kansas City Chiefs are really fucking good at football.
Kelsey over the middle, length to the end zone, touchdown, Kansas City.
Big reason for that? A lot of big brains running around in Chiefs jerseys on Sunday. What? Monday? What? Thursday? What? In America? What? In England? What? No matter where they play, they have high IQ. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
I hit him with the bing bing, and I just go. Just go. Yeah. His eyes were in the backfield. As soon as I hit the 1-2, I was out of there. I knew I had nothing in the middle.
The middle was wide open because of Sky Moore, rookie, and MVS Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Clear out in a post to occupy the safeties, and Travis Kelce's able to waltz right in for his 72nd NFL touchdown. Bravo, Travis Kelce, and thanks for the big brain football by MVS and Sky Moore.
Who's backside? Quiet, that was you? Yeah. We backside? Good. Baby, way to clear that. Who was that backside post?
Scott.
Huh?
I think it's Scott.
Scott? That went too full. Hey, Scott!
Kansas City's receivers might not be big names in the kingdom just yet, but they got big old brains.
Caught by Valdez-Scantling.
It wasn't a coincidence MVS was open down the seam. No.
You even crossed the hat. You right on the hat.
Yeah, I literally, because they went inverse. I saw the safety run way over there. The other ones, so I'm like, take it throughout the half.
Against the inverted safeties, MVS knew that the middle of the field would be wide open. Mahomes had a hunch that the 4.37 speed on a linebacker might be a favorable matchup.
A dart thrown by Patrick Mahomes. Great job.
Yes, sir.
One of the problems sometimes when you try and disguise coverages and drop somebody back late, you can zip somebody right past it. And it's exactly what happened with Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
A safety pressure, immediate invert. That's what it means every time.
Knowing coverages and how to beat them, that's smart football. But what Mahomes did on his second touchdown pass was a work of wizardry in the art of football IQ.
At the 2, they fake the trap. Now Mahomes scrambling to his right, holding it, gets off the hit, now lunging forward, and now fires it late, caught at the back of the end zone. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Mahomes with the touchdown pass.
Absolute banana land. Dude takes a snap, scrambles around for 7 seconds, which is almost a full bull ride, okay? Almost full bull ride. Spins, throws a touchdown, all the while remembering that they snapped the ball on the 2-yard line and he cannot cross that line and still throw a football.
Yo, I'm close. You got it. As long as you're there, you're good.
You get out of the pocket. Great. You make one of the league's best linebackers miss. Even better. But to stay behind the line of scrimmage so you can throw a touchdown, that's some big brain football.
I had to make up for it. I had to make up for it. I had to make up for it. I had to make up for that miss, baby.
2 plays before, wide open touchdown. Patrick says, you know what? Too easy. Let's make things a little bit more difficult. I'm going to miss this pass, be upset about it, but then I'm going to make magic.
I was able to use my speed to get a little bit of speed to get around the edge there. I was going to run for it, and they kind of flew around, and I realized I wasn't going to make it, and I saw Clyde, and so I just kind of flicked it up to him.
It's the line of scrimmage aspect of knowing that he's not going to throw the ball, past the line of scrimmage, and Pat is good, but kind of sensing where he is.
Stop, and now he's going to find the receiver. Stop it. Stop it.
The NFL hasn't seen anything like Pat Mahomes, I promise you that. And you saw it today. He's the Houdini of our era, man.
That's big brain football.
Y'all saw that? I know y'all saw that. That's right. That's something you do on Mac.
I love this Kansas City Chiefs team. I love how smart they are. I love how innovative they are. I love how creative they are. They had a tight end take a snap under center while Patrick Mahomes was having a little thespian acting job to distract everybody.
Now a direct snap, and the Chiefs trying to shove forward, touchdown!
The Chiefs are athletic. The Chiefs are fast. The Chiefs are magical. Andy Reid has a big brain and a beautiful mustache, but most importantly, they have a lot of guys that master the art of big brain football. An absolute dog named Dustin Hopkins. Yeah. Bury home 4 field goals, probably with a torn hamstring at some point. Burying home a winner in overtime. Not being able to stand on his goddamn leg. Having to fall because his foot cannot withstand the weight of his body. But it can withstand the weight of a program, of a franchise, of an organization looking to find their way. And in OT, when push came to shove, Dustin Hopkins did what he did 3 other times last night with a torn ham. He puts the ball through the fucking uprights. He was in massive amount of pain. His teammates saw him. The world saw him. They hoisted this one-legged man up onto their shoulders to say, pal, you are the grittiest dog we have ever seen.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
Today's show is presented by Cash App. Rodgers leading a fourth quarter comeback against the Cowboys. That's money.
Hell yeah.
Devontae Smith scoring a touchdown on his birthday.
That's
money.
Good money. That's
Good money.
That's good money.
When personal finance connects you to both your funds and the stuff that matters, that's money. And that's Cash App. You guys know what else is money?
What's that?
Buying Bitcoin or stocks with as little as $1.
What?
Be careful of that. Yeah, especially if it's FTX. You never know.
I would like to say on the record, I'm proud of our company and our program. Never promoting any of that stuff.
Nope. Yeah. Not buying in.
You know, we didn't create any. There was a lot of people that came up to us with these brilliant concepts about how we can create all this shit and we can do all this shit. And I was just too dumb to understand it. So I said, nah, sorry, I don't understand it. And I actually said on the show numerous times, probably missing out on a lot of money here, but I'm too dumb to understand it. I don't feel like it's the right move. Turns out I was smarter than everybody that was trying to sell it to us. It is all bullshit.
Yep.
Okay.
That guy was running a Ponzi scheme.
Full-on money laundering scam, yeah.
If you can't touch it, you can't see it.
Well, if nobody runs it, that means somebody runs it and nobody knows who runs it. So that's just something to continue to remember as we go. Yeah, but nobody is really in charge of this. Somebody. That means we don't know.
It's the blockchain. The blockchain.
Made up some Russian guy's name.
Yeah, that means we don't know who is in charge of it then. Just something to think about as we go forward.
That's right.
I think NFTs have always been around. I mean, I've gotten fucking tickets in an email form a lot. And that's what people, NFTs are tickets to things. It's like, so.
Yeah, I'm already doing that.
Email tickets, like I get that, okay. I think there are some NFTs that will survive and that are going to be great, and I believe it is a collector's items and everything like that. But man, there's a lot of people that were just taking advantage of people. And I think they didn't know. They were acting as if they knew more than they did, which is going to inevitably make them look worse in the long haul when it's all bullshit. And I don't think everything's bullshit, but goddamn, a lot of that feels like as the days roll on, the worse all that shit looks.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that we're too dumb to really understand anything about it. And you know, good on us. I'm proud of all of us.
Yeah.
That was a good team decision by all of us.
A lot of people got duped.
A lot of money was being offered.
The Miami Heat arena has to change names, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Bang Bros Arena.
They offered it.
Yeah.
Yep. $10 million on the table.
Go ahead and finish here. Go ahead and finish the idea.
All right. Well, I mean, if you don't want to, buy
the amount of
Bitcoin.
money though that was being presented to me and Phil to potentially do something like this, like millions of dollars. We think in our projections
to promote it.
Yeah, just to be a part, sign on to something. It wasn't with FTX. It was another probably scheme of some sort. Millions of dollars. All we need you to do is this and this whole thing and sell it to your people. And I'm like, what do they get? Well, they get a very rare blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't think I understand. I don't think I get it. Like, yeah, but the payout here, the financial end game is potentially massive or whatever. I'm like, I don't think I understand. CFO Phil has been the most anti since the very, so he went into that conversation closed-minded. I went into the conversation open-minded because it seemed like everybody else was doing it. And then as the conversation's going on, I'm asking questions. I can feel Phil being like, yeah, okay, yeah. He also not on side. So we never did any of it. But boy, 10 years from now, something's going to kick up like this again. And we're going to have to tell everybody, like, yo.
Slow down.
So, whoa. How much money are you putting in there? Some people are putting like $400 million into this stuff. Oh!
Tom did what?
300.
I'm not saying names.
Also, people who didn't have the means at all putting like all
Their
the money
entire
they
savings.
had into it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you watch documentaries.
Which is not smart
as
with
if-
anything.
No,
we didn't
absolutely
know.
not.
Yeah, I tried to
You
do my
looked into
research.
Bitcoin,
I
yeah.
tried my best. I watched 2 docs on it. Now, is that good research? Who knows? Who's making the documentary, you know? That's what we also have to remember going forward. Who's making said documentary? What message are they trying to show? So I tried my best to learn about it because I feel like I'm a pretty solid business person. A lot of people talking about this way to be the next generation. Oh, this is the future. Yeah. People are making, like, some companies are making like $4 million in one day selling these things that don't exist on promises of what the future could potentially hold. And it turns out that all just isn't real.
Yeah.
Some of it.
Everyone's saying the Democrats are good people, but here we
What
are.
are you talking about?
I'm
How
just
does that
saying.
even?
FTX, you know, just
Oh, I thought there was a red wave coming.
That's right, Tony.
How does that
I don't
even-
know if it is.
I don't know. I don't have a full grasp of why that just happened, but I'm happy that you just brought that into the middle of it.
Just throwing stuff out there. I've been looking into FTX now because of everything that's been said. And let's just say there's some shady stuff going on, Pat. Have they found the dude?
Stuff. I'm sure you're the authority on this, and this is the problem with buying $8 check mark.
Bingo.
$8 check mark
That's
is Boston Connor.
That's right.
And his
Right.
reports on the internet just as much legitimacy as everybody else. That's what the journalists are actually saying.
Yeah, and I'm not even clicking on the profiles to see if they have a lot of followers. Nope, not anymore. I don't care.
They got check mark? They're right.
Boom. Okay, that's fact. I don't even look into it. They could have 10 followers, but to me, they are reporting for the New York Times.
You know what the good thing is, though, about the previous blue check mark holders? They were always right.
Oh, yeah.
Weren't they?
That's right.
They were always the most right.
You know what the real problem
Don't you think, AJ? They were always the most, all the time about the most serious
matter what.
stuff.
Yeah.
About the most serious stuff, they were able to, well,
Actually.
yeah. It's like, well, I don't think you motherfuckers
Look
are right.
down on a lot of people.
If we're to do the analytics game in their world, even if they're batting 75%, which I assume over some topics, I haven't done the research, probably a lot less than that because at the time we didn't know much, but people were acting as if they knew all. So a little bit of a balance of self-awareness. But even if they're batting 75%, like that's still 25%. That's a lot of times wrong.
A fourth of the time you're wrong.
That is a lot of times wrong. So even if they're 75%, 80% right, 85% right, 15% of the time being wrong, like that's a lot of times being wrong.
Yeah.
And if it's very important, like that's a pretty big deal. So you got a lot of people grandstanding on Elon Musk, like if you give blue check marks to everybody, how does anybody know what the legitimate news is? Well, the last couple of years, it's kind of opened some eyes, like what is legitimate news these days? And then Elon Musk actually tweeted, Twitter is the news app or whatever for the people, by the people.
Yeah.
And then it got 15,000 retweets or whatever. It's like, that is what Twitter is, but we do have to fact check some things. For instance, anything that Connor says, normally have to fact check it. We'll just set that kind of down there. And anything that that person says in a cowboy hat over there also should probably fact check if it involves anything other than football.
Yeah, don't take anything I say
Actually,
seriously.
even
AQ.
football too. You should definitely fact check me too.
Nah, you,
Tony, you know
you
football.
know
You were on it.
football.
But the real issue with the whole check
Good
mark thing
compliment.
is now, when people call me a piece of shit and there's a blue check mark next to it, I used to see who it was, and now I have to do that for like 400 people a day.
Yeah, that's why my original tweet went out the way it was. Like, if everybody has a check mark, does anybody have a check mark? And what's the next check mark? And then I got attacked by all the Elon fans. Oh, you self-righteous. And I'm like, I just asked a question. Excuse me. Literally just asked a couple questions here. I didn't say good, didn't say bad. I believe that Twitter should do a subscription model. I think they should just charge everybody. Make it $2.99 and just make it a forgettable price. Have people just put it on auto pay, and then you don't have ads in their feed. And if everybody's paying $2.99 or whatever, $3.99, whatever price he pays, I mean, it's going to go. People are going to pay that. Okay, people pay that for a lot of bullshit, a lot more than that. And I understand that Twitter is a business and has to operate as such, or you start getting swayed by big money pockets in what gets shown, what doesn't get shown. So I think Twitter had a massive issue beforehand because the way they were garnering revenue, okay? I think that was an actual thing that was happening. So Elon gets in, and he's trying to figure out, I think, how we can take...
He said they're blowing, did he say they're blowing $4 million a day?
Yeah, I mean, it almost went bankrupt before it made this previous iteration. So I don't want to say I'm OG Twitter user, but I'm pretty OG Twitter user, like strictly on Twitter too. Everything I did whenever I was playing, which, you know, I went on a stand-up comedy tour, sold like 10,000 tickets, had a merch company that was up over $1 million, had a podcast that was selling things. That was all strictly from my Twitter. I only used Twitter, didn't use anything else. Not attractive enough to use Instagram, not smart enough to use any of the other platforms. I was just a Twitter person. So I've always loved Twitter just because of, like, you learn everything faster than the news. You get to see everybody. It makes the world much smaller. Like, I would
It's
actually...
all in one space, one place for everyone to go consume.
Boom. And I would be able to get connected to people. I'd be chatting with somebody from fucking Alaska about something that was happening on Twitter just like instantly. So I fell in love with Twitter. I love Twitter. So I've been there a long time. But as I was using Twitter and having, like, you know, good time on there, they were talking about how it was going bankrupt and everything like that. Then they changed the model. They changed the business cycle. Then you started seeing a lot more like tabloid shit in there. And it was like, well, Twitter was supposed to be for the independents. Now they're taking money from all the established people, and it's just becoming bullshit. So there's been growth I think from that standpoint, Twitter and how they make money, but they have this massive wagon, the greatest platform on earth, which is what I believe Twitter is, and they're all trying to figure out. And now Elon's taking a swing on how do we make this a profitable company so it can survive forever, get better, be made better, and everybody can trust him more. Like, that's what Elon's trying to do. I assume he's going to figure it out because Elon's an alien. I think Elon's an alien. He's been a billionaire in like 5 different companies that he created. I mean, that is just what he does. I assume he'll figure it out. The blue check mark thing for $8 for everybody is certainly a fascinating thing. And my question of what's the next check mark, they've already brought it back. It was that official. They have to make another check mark because to Tone's point, as somebody who uses Twitter a lot, very lucky to be on Twitter now, much larger space than I was way back in the day when I was small. And I'll get some people who go, oh, you don't care about the small accounts. It's like, man, I used to get excited when I got 5 followers, bro. Okay, I've been on Twitter a long ass time. I feel like I really have been a Twitter person. Now everything I read has a blue check mark. I'm like, all right, is this person influencing a lot of people to feel the way they feel? And then I click on it, it's like 8 followers. Okay. All right. So there's going to have to be a new one that is like, hey, this person, if they're saying this thing, whether it's good or bad about you, there's a lot of people that are probably going to hear it that you have to address it. That's kind of what the check mark was. But they started handing those things out now. There was side door. I guess they're saying $15,000, $20,000 people were paying for blue check marks before this whole thing happened.
To who?
People are taking
pay.
People that are working in Twitter, in the back end of Twitter, were doing like side deals.
Like behind the scene deals and pocketing that cash.
Yeah, so I think Elon will figure it out. I don't think he's there yet, though. I think he's going to continue to do it. But the blue check thing was a fascinating, like, oh, we'll just give everybody blue check marks. It's like, I don't know if that's the right answer either. But Elon's much smarter than I am. I think he'll figure it out. So to all the Elon people that were attacking me on Twitter the other day, you'll never see this, obviously, because you only saw my tweet. You don't follow me. You just start attacking me. I think he'll figure it out. And I'm a big fan of private stuff as opposed to public stuff. Like, I like businesses that are run, at least we know who's making decisions. And at least we know why there's a potential thing. When companies that we all use are very public, it's like there's a lot of like, oh, this person, this person, this person, this person. Oh, they did this, they did this. Well, they have a commercial with this, they do that. So I enjoy, privatization of said companies that are very important like that. And I think he'll figure it. I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's there yet. He might tell me differently. But if he does, I'll just tell him, yeah, you're wrong. No offense, Elon. I think you haven't got there yet.
No, what he tweeted recently, he was like, hey, there's going to be a shitload of changes coming soon. Like, we'll eliminate the ones that don't work. We'll stick with the ones that do work. So
he fired somebody that was awesome. Somebody that was talking about the operating speed. So he said that he apologized for how slow Twitter was on Androids, I think. And then the person who worked on it, this has happened a lot. People in the cafeteria, they were like, I worked there every single day. And then he publicly goes, well, I'm looking at the books. So are you saying the books are wrong that I got told in here? Because you guys are spending $10 million on food, less than $2 million is being ate. There's more people cooking food than eating food. He's putting this all out there. Oh, yeah, and you're fired.
Bye-bye.
Gotcha. You're fired, by the way. And then this guy, I worked on the coding and the technology, and this is just a flat-out lie. He's like, what is your response time or whatever on Android? The guy didn't answer. And then somebody tweets Elon like, Elon, this isn't a good guy to have on your team. He's like, yeah, you're right. This guy's been fired.
See ya.
It's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. No. Hope that guy finds another job.
He will.
Hope everybody finds a job. We don't want anybody to be out of work or whatever. But Elon is doing some changes, and I don't think he's there yet. I think he will find it, though, because Elon has proven he'll figure it out. Then he'll probably get bored, and then he'll move on to something else.
That's right.
Then he'll move on to something else. And we're along for the ride. Hey, Elon, we hope you do.
Yeah. Keep going, Elon. Yep. Twitter's the best.
We hope you do. We love Twitter, man. I fucking love Twitter, dude.
Yeah. AQ's been pushing the Truth app on us, though.
Yeah.
What's that?
He said that's the only right app you can ride
Truth
the Trump
Social?
train on. Yeah.
What's the...
That's the one Trump is...
he crushes.
Is
What's that? Hold on. There's another one I saw Steve will do it's on. Rumble?
Parlor?
No, Parlor got taken down off the App Store. I know that.
What is Parlor? Parlor was the Twitter?
Yeah, it was like the response to Twitter when they were kicking a bunch, like when Trump got banned and a bunch of other people did.
I saw the Nelk Boys. They're pushing something. I see it on his Instagram. He says Rumble. It's called it's called the Rumble app. Do you know what that is? I don't know what that is.
Is that the YouTube alternative type deal?
It sounded like, it was a video posting thing. I saw him say, well, since I got booted, Steve will do it. Rumble, 289,000 subscribers. Hey, you had a baby. A very good platform having that many people.
I like other guys on there.
Andrew Tate.
Huh.
Oh, so it's that's like a place if they kick you off of YouTube.
You see the middle one? See the middle one?
Yeah.
Middle video, the title?
I didn't see it. What was it?
Pretty hilarious.
Steve, dude, this group here, Giving away money in the hood dressed as Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, I saw that photo on Instagram. Yeah. These dudes went from, like, Steve will do it. I've watched this guy a long time because he's an incredible chugger. He used to be able to just chug stuff and just, like, as a teenager, this dude's like 17 years old, and he's just chugging bottles of, like, full tequilas, full whiskeys, and it's like, as somebody who used to chug stuff, like, incredible talent. This guy, this dude has an incredible talent. Like, I'm watching along for that. Then they've grown into this full Nelk Boys, full send, happy dad business. It's like they're going to be people. They're a group that people are going to study, I think, going forward on how you make it in there. But I think did they create this fucking app? I wonder. Like, that's the type of thing that, like,
Rumble. I don't think they created Rumble. That was around.
I don't know anything about any of these things. No, this is what I'm talking about with my world too. I just put blinders on.
Never heard of Rumble.
Never heard of the one you just yelled at.
Truth.
Well,
it's called the what?
It's just called Truth.
Like Paul Pierce?
Yeah. Yes. Without the.
So it's just Truth app?
Just Truth app.
Is it tweets? Is it posts? What is it?
I have no idea.
That's Truth Social, right?
Truth Social, yeah.
There it is.
Truth Social. Truth Social is America's big tent social media platform that encourages an open, free, and honest global conversation without discriminating on the basis of political ideology. Okay.
Yeah, bingo.
All right, that makes sense.
Bingo.
Okay. Truth Social is America's big tent, and we can have honest global conversations.
Yeah, right.
You want to come on here? We'll figure out the world.
Who founded this app?
I don't know. I heard rumblings of one of the Trump trainers, but I thought it was AQ. That's just what AQ told me.
What's that all about? What's so funny? You on Rumble?
Just
Truth?
the fact that he keeps bringing this up. This is too funny.
Too
Probably
funny.
where Alex Jones had to go.
He's what? He's owed $100 billion. How much is
he owes a lot of money.
We are so broke.
No, he actually is.
If you could buy some merch, buy these pills. We're getting sued. They're attacking us to try to take us down. We are so broke. And there's another gone so soon situation. I learned of Alex Jones' existence, and people won't believe this, obviously, but I literally try to stay in my lane as much as possible because I enjoy my life. I'm going to try to continue to enjoy my life. People say I don't have any civic responsibility because I don't pay attention to who's changing the world. Okay, maybe one day I will. I'll rely upon the people that know what's going on to make the decisions. Although it seems like they fuck it up all the time. I don't know. It does. I've kind of stayed in my own world, my own vein. I try to enjoy it. And, I think you get to experience it. I was introduced to Alex Jones 10 days before he got kicked off the internet. My first day of learning about Alex Jones, I watched 2 hours of this character. I was like, this guy ends up on he's on the house floor. This guy is yelling at people on the house floor. I'm like, this is the greatest gimmick of all time. Like, I just thought this was internet character. Obviously, he was. People were taking him as a real human. I had not known of all the things that he had done in the past and the lives that have been led because of the things that he has said and the gimmick and everything like that. So he got kicked off the internet 10 days later, gone, banished, see ya. I had a 10-day run of getting to know what the fuck this human was. And to be honest, if you look at everybody as if you look at life as a movie, one of the most absurd characters of all time, just a pop, he ends up in positions of power, this dude who has just talked his shit all the way up there, and then he's banned 10 days later.
It's Ghislaine.
Yeah, then he does the Rogan. He talks about Ghislaine Maxwell.
Was he the
Our dad
head-
read a newspaper over in England. Look it up.
Was he
Look
the
it
head
up. Jamie,
organizer
you look it up.
of AJ's birthday party?
What's that?
Was he the head organizer of AJ's surprise birthday party?
You're talking about January 6th, this guy?
Yeah.
The dust up?
Was Jones, Jack Del Rio described it as such. He got a big win on Monday Night
AJ's
Football.
favorite.
He put a stop to
favorite
Team played well.
So Alex Jones is a part of January 6th. I did not. Is that a part of the whole?
I mean, there are a lot of theories on Alex Jones. Some people think that he works for the CIA.
We are so broke.
I saw an internet report he works for the Kremlin.
Boom.
We are so broke. So whoever he works for, I'm excited. He's gone though. He owes $100 billion. Nonetheless, did he create? Is he on these apps that you're talking about? That's a good question, actually. Is he on these apps where people have gotten kicked off the internet?
That's what it's for. That's what they're created for, right? People that get kicked off other platforms.
Jeez Louise.
He'd crush on
It
Rumble.
seems like he got kicked off Rumble already.
Got kicked off the one that the people who got kicked off of things?
I Googled it and it just says not on there. So
Well, maybe. Well, it's all his site, I think. Doesn't he try to get people to his site?
I'm not sure he can afford internet anywhere.
Yeah.
At this point, with what the judgment was.
He's
Anyways.
been drunk for 3 months.
Yeah, there was also a video, I guess, of him just housing one of those cups that looked like Tito's vodka
just
bottle.
throwing away bottles of Tito's.
Let's move on. I thought we were going to get this show back. You know what I mean? I thought we were going to get this show back on the rails. How do we feel about Aaron's conversation? Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
Didn't address anything. Didn't start any shit.
Nope. Work day.
On to Thursday.
Felt like it was good. Thank you for that, Aaron.
Thank you. Packers release Amari Rodgers.
Amari Rodgers has been released. He was once wide receiver. Then he was moved to punt returner after bobbling numerous punt returns, especially one this past weekend against the Dallas Cowboys on primetime television. The Green Bay Packers have had enough, and they have released him. He will get picked up by a team, I assume, because he's an explosive athlete. I don't know if he'll get a starting position. What's that?
He had 4 career catches and 5 fumbles.
Third-round pick, right? Second-round pick.
Third-round pick.
Yeah, but somebody who's a better coach than everybody else.
True.
Change of scenery.
True.
Change of scenery.
Somebody.
Coach.
I assume he'll get picked up. Maybe
Steelers.
not, but maybe he'll
They
get
like
picked
him
up.
coming out.
Another breaking news out of the NFL, and this one is a damn bummer. The undefeated Jeff Saturday-led Indianapolis Colts have announced that Shaq Leonard, formerly Darius Leonard, formerly defensive MVP candidate, has been ruled out for the remainder of the season. He will be having surgery on his back. This will be his second surgery on his back in like 6 months, trying to help a nerve thing going on in his ankle, we do believe. Ian Rappaport reported that he underwent successful season-ending back surgery this morning after several evaluations. Leonard is on injured reserve, and hope is the procedure fixes his issue for good. He had an ankle injury in which they did a surgery, I think, on his ankle.
Right.
And they did another surgery on his ankle, and they thought they had it figured out. Then they thought they tracked the body. There's a nerve maybe in his back that was being pinched or something like that. We'll do a back surgery. It's not actually a back problem, though, although I guess it is there. It's affecting the way his ankle is. Now, with a bad ankle, bum ankle, not being able to have full function of his ankle, he led the team in tackles, was almost a defensive MVP candidate. He was unbelievable. So when the back surgery happens, I believe the expectation of everybody in the Indianapolis Colts universe was, this dude's going to be even better. He's going to have a fucking ankle now. They figured it out. That was not the case, I guess. He didn't really play much this year. When he played, he was kind of second-guessing himself. He gave some quotes about how the team was better when he wasn't playing. I felt bad. I thought he had lost his confidence. I guess, it turns out they did not fix the problem. He was still suffering. They get the surgery done now. Hopefully he'll be back next year. Godspeed, Shaq. We love you, buddy.
Good luck, Shaq.
Good luck, Shaq.
Good luck, Shaq.
That's not a good loss, though, for a team that has the second toughest schedule remaining in the entire NFL. The Giants have the toughest schedule remaining. The Colts have the second toughest schedule remaining. We found that out on Reddit. They lose Shaq Leonard. Zaire's still a player. Their defense is still good. But I was hoping that they'd be able to get him back at the end of the season and change some games, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks for the whole league. I mean, I feel like Shaq Leonard's a superstar in the NFL. Like, we're so used to, you want to watch any kind of like highlight compilation from the games on Sunday, there's probably going to be at least one play in there where Shaq Leonard's punching the ball out, having some unbelievable tackle, or find a way to get it, like going up and elevating, getting a pick in the middle of the field. The guy makes plays when he's on the field. So hopefully next year he actually feels somewhat close to 100% when he actually plays.
He's a superstar. We all hope he gets back. We hope this one takes, too.
Yes.
We hope this is the right answer because he's been dealing with this for a long time. Tankathon.com actually went through the strength of schedules. The New York Giants have 8 games left, and they're the toughest opponents with the Eagles, Vikings, Cowboys, and Commanders being 2 times each in the division there. And then the easiest opponents are...
What's that about?
Wait, what are the easiest ones?
What's that
I
about?
can't
Why are the
see.
Colts always over there?
What's this website?
They meant the whole. They don't. This isn't the Jeff Saturday like Colts. They should put
Right.
an F next to that for the Frank Reich Colts.
Right.
And that's not the brand new Lions. That's the same old Lions. So they got to update that.
Yeah, because the brand new lines are different. So actually, the Giants have a much tougher schedule than Tankathon.com even fathom because these are different teams now. But nonetheless, Giants have the toughest strength of schedule left. Colts at number 2. Obviously, without Shaq Leonard for the rest of the year, it's going to be no fun. Eagles this weekend. Vikings, Giants, Cowboys, Chargers, Texans, Steelers on there. Oh, no. Steelers on the easiest opponents.
TJ Watt less Steelers.
Yeah, you're right. So put that in the other one. Texans still the Texans, although I do believe they're making an appearance in the trenches today.
Yeah, Brandon
Okay.
Cooks
They're good.
not captain of Texans, so.
Yeah, but he scored a touchdown, then it got called back. AJ, what does this tell you? You think in that strength of schedule remaining left for these teams that are hoping to make a run down the stretch?
It doesn't really tell me anything because who knows who the hell is ever going to win a game in the NFL. The Commanders beat the undefeated Eagles.
Yeah, I think this year more than ever, who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
And we talked about it in the first hour. There's going to be a lot of bad teams that we think are bad that are going to ruin and break a lot of good teams' hearts down the stretch here. This year is setting up for that, I think, more than any other year. So I understand the toughest opponents on paper and the easiest opponents on paper, but those easiest opponents might show up in a Week 15 game and everything just clicks for whatever reason, and they fucking break hearts of a team that was supposed to go on a run.
And like the Commanders, if they lose last night, they're probably sliding into the easiest opponents remaining, but because they won, they're on the toughest opponents remaining.
Yeah, and they're 3-1 in their last 4, right?
Mhm.
And
Chase
the
Young's
Vikings, they
coming
could have
back.
beat. Chase Young's coming back. That Commanders team.
Oh yeah.
The NFC East, they have a record. I think the NFC
5-5. They're
No,
still-
no. I think the NFC
Oh,
East.
their conference or their division
yeah,
record.
the NFC East division record is the best. It's the best in the history of the NFL. I think after Week 10, I think their division.
Yeah, they were after Week 8, but I assume it is only.
It was a graphic last night that popped up. I
Yeah.
think the NFC East has the best 10-game winning percentage in the history of the NFL.
Eagles are 8-1, Giants are 7-2, Cowboys are 6-4, and then the Commanders are 5-5.
Yeah, so I think that graphic popped up last night. It's like 70-some%. I mean, I'm in and out of sleep watching all these
Through
games.
10 weeks, the NFC East had the highest winning percentage of any division in NFL history.
Yeah, and I think
Huge.
after this week, I think
They were the shitter last year.
Yeah.
This year, the best conference or best division in the history of football. What are you gonna say?
I'm not positive. I'm pretty sure after last night's game, this is the first time two divisions in the NFL have 2 or 8 teams that are above 500 or at 500.
AFC East.
AFC East and NFC East.
I understand you want to just sneak the AFC.
No, this is
into
real.
every conversation.
This is real. No.
No, but we're talking about the NFC East. We're talking about how they were in the shitter. Now they're the best division in the history of football. And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that's funny.
Well,
just 1 second. I mean, it might not be the best in the history of the NFL, but let's not. The AFC East.
Well, if we want to talk about the NFC East, then we could pull up the quarterbacks that the Eagles have beaten because that's a huge
Whoa.
That's the biggest conversation.
Oh, frauds.
Can we find that list of quarterbacks that the Philadelphia Eagles have beat on this run? Because
I mean, I could tell.
I'll tell you what, I opened my eyes this morning and I seen that on Reddit. It was posted that the quarterbacks that the Philadelphia Eagles have beaten since 2021 is not as impressive as we could have imagined. Matt Ryan, Sam Darnold, Jared Goff 2 times, Teddy Bridgewater, Trevor Siemian, Zach Wilson, Garrett Gilbert, stud, Mike Glennon, Jake Fromm, State Farm, Taylor Heinicke, Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz, Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, Cooper Rush, Kenny Pickett, Davis Mills. So I don't know if they're leaving people out or if that's literally all the quarterbacks that they have beaten.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's not the Eagles' fault that that's
Yeah.
who they played against. They can only schedule who they can schedule. The other teams have to figure that out. Is that a tell that the Eagles aren't as good as we think they are? Is that what the Reddit user is trying to say right there?
That's what they're trying to, get that point across, I guess. I mean, I don't really put a whole lot into it, but I understand what they're trying to do.
Don't love that they put Matt Ryan on that list, acting like
Well, Matt Ryan is the worst season he's ever had in the history of his career. So
last week was one of the best weeks he's had in the history of his career.
Amen.
There's Jeff Saturday's back. so
Amen.
that's what I'm talking
2-7.
about. Shaq Leonard out for the year, though. Hey, Shaq, Godspeed.
Yeah.
Good luck, Shaq.
You got this, Shaq.
It is time now for one of the best segments in all of sports and entertainment. It is time
Classic.
to dive deep into the bowels of football. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for In the Trenches with AQ Shipley.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
We got a good week this week. We got AJ. We got some misdirection, fooling some linebackers' eyes. We got some counters. We got even a little gadget this week, huh?
A little creativity.
A little creativity.
Inspector Gadget.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's get started with the Houston Texans, huh?
We'll save that for later when the
When the
creative gadget
yeah,
comes.
for sure.
Creative gadget. AJ, were you in with us or were you a team or not?
Yeah, I was there. I was in.
What did it sound like?
I think they muted my mic when I was.
Don't be an asshole.
doing
Do
the
it again.
You suck.
Creative gadget. We see you. We see
Can't
you.
wait, AQ. I can't wait to see this play. And there's gadget is coming. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Smokes, yeah, that's all you
Yeah.
did while the rest of the team was.
Gadgets won't come if you don't sing it.
This is disgusting. Go ahead.
Perfect. Let's start with Tunsil. Having a phenomenal year. One of the best left tackles in the game. Obviously, they make a trade a couple years ago to get him. Stud. But here, they're going to run a counter tray. You can also call this tag. Why do we call it tag? Tackle and guard. See how fucking creative we get as offensive line coaches?
Boom.
We're going to pull. Everybody else is going to block back. We got a 6 box, 6 people in the box, which allows them to make an angle call or a down call and get everybody back. Tight end's going to go back to this guy. Down, 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 pull, pull. Don't have to worry about him because we got a fucking stud that's going to run the ball. Or maybe not. Hand it off, hold his eyes, get the kick out here, get Tunsil around on here. You guys see where this is going?
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Get off the tracks. And look, he makes a cut here, which is unbelievable, and he's out the gate.
Oh, wow. What do we have
tight
here?
end blocking.
Oh.
Big gaping holes. Great point, AJ. Great block by the tight end at the second level.
That's old buddy from the Cowboys. Now he's in the Giants starting, right?
Yeah.
Jalen Smith.
Yeah, exactly.
Jalen Smith.
Don't forget
Nice
his Packers.
strike, but man, good job as a tight end.
Stays connected, and then we get a one-on-one with the safety. This guy's got unbelievable vision. He could have taken it there. He could have bounced it. He could have went back there. He makes it. He's on his own with the safety and makes another move at the next level. Awesome stuff, though. This is a great blocking scheme.
Hey, this guy's a good player, huh?
Stud. We love the way he runs.
Dog.
Yeah, love it.
Love the way Dameon Pierce is running the ball this year. He's going to be a stud.
Would you respect Davis Mills' athleticism? Because I would.
You would. That's why I brought it up. That's why I made a big point. He's got a lot of freakish stuff when he pulls it on the outside. But
that neck,
we get him respecting it. But that's the thing. All you got to do is just show it. You just got to show it, even if it's just one time. They got to respect it.
What a play!
And then he's out running.
Wow. Texans not as terrible as it may seem.
Yeah,
this is what you're saying.
I think they got some stuff there. I just don't think the quarterback.
Whoa!
Is elite. I don't think he's bad. I just don't think he's elite. And it's a quarterback-driven league. You need elite guys to make a run at to the playoffs. But here we go. Check this out. We love this. Let me set the scene with this first.
Please do.
Hey, let's set the scene. Foxy, we made it this week.
Let's go, finally.
Let's go. All right, so we talk about this play a lot. The Bob or the weak ISO. We're going to start both backs weak. Gets his eyes. We're going to send the fullback to him. Tailback's going to start weak as well. Like we're running. We're selling it, right? We're selling weak ISO. He is going to make one step. Again, we're going to draw eyes. I love these misdirection plays. Everybody else is running, we call it a man play, to the tight end wing side over here. They're going to get the double team to him. They don't even need to block him because the weak ISO is going to get his eyes and send, watch what it does and the influence of these backers. And then we're getting pulling guards both around the corner for him and number 9 on the safety. This is unbelievable. I love this play. As soon as I saw this, I was like, this got to get in. Ooh. Watch this. This guy's downhill. He's downhill. Wait till you see this. It just engulfs him. He's going to be over here by this hash by the time this thing gets going. Look at that.
Oh, no.
They think it's full ISO. Now we're pulling both guards around for him and him. Second puller, which is the backside guard, doesn't even need to block him. He just basically gets a little sprint into the end zone. Swift with a huge hole.
Holy shit.
Walk it in.
Shit.
Without Skip on the field, too.
Is that hole big enough?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say.
Holding?
Yeah. What do you got, semi-truck?
Yeah.
Fit that big gaping hole.
I think it's awesome that we need to spotlight just the incredibly quick feet of old Cuzzy right here.
I agree.
To sell going to the right, guess what?
Bang. Boom. See ya.
Fucking jab step.
How good is that?
Almost stepped on this guy's foot.
Yeah.
How good is that?
You tell me.
So good. That's how good it is. So good.
Bears had no shot stopping that there.
You got no chance.
Bears.
And that was a huge play. I mean, that was, I think, Foxy, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that tied the game up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there it is.
Shout out to Chicago's fans for the Lions needing silent.
It's really good stuff, though, man. Really good.
Bears fans will be loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get after it.
Oh,
Bless you.
thank you. God bless your soul.
All right, let me set the scene on this one, too.
Please do. We're down in Miami. It's hot. Holy hell. Remember a couple weeks ago, somebody put a grill under a car. Let's not do that anymore.
That's right.
No.
That's right.
Be careful.
We think this guy's a good football player?
Great football
Yeah,
player.
I'd say alien.
You guys can't see him right here. This is Trent Sherfield, who, if you guys remember correctly, had a big-time touchdown later in the game.
He did.
A little bit
Right?
after.
It's like plus
Back in
600
the end
to score.
zone, drags his feet. Why is that? Because Christian McCaffrey, again, not on this team, new team, same system, right?
Yeah.
Said, Best wide receiver blocking he's ever seen. It also filters into this scheme. So, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a crack toss. Or that's what they're trying to give you the illusion of. Tight split. He's staring right at him. See it? Hey, we're going to get the crack. We are going to get the crack. But here's the different thing. We're going to go gun, put the back on the other side. A lot of times when you run the crack toss, you put the back over here. You get the toss. If that happens, fast flow on the linebackers. That's why we got to get the puller. But check it out. We're going to get the handoff behind. Slow to go, allows him to slip and get here. Allows him to slip and get here. He's really going for him, but they get a great angle on him, so check it out. He sees his buddies blocking him. Fuck it, let's keep rolling. Let's get another block. We'll replace one with another. Having an unbelievable year. Taron Armstead gets up, gets this whole thing started. And then everybody else on the backside, boom, we're going to get him up. Got him going. Fuck it, okay, you got him? Now let's go get a safety. Good block on the outside. Great crack by Sherfield. This is their version of a crack toss without actually running the toss.
Smart.
McDaniels, he's a genius.
Mike McDaniel's doing a phenomenal job. I texted this to Pat. I think this is the best offense in the NFL right now. What they're doing, they are rolling. I could have done this entire segment on the Miami Dolphins run game from this game alone.
Just from the creativity, the details, the execution, or just all of it?
All of it. You just hit it all. Details. What they're doing, they're setting the tight end on one side. They're getting to plays different ways than everybody else is getting to them. Here's a prime example right here.
How big is it for them to add Jeff Wilson, who already knows the 49ers system?
I think that's a great point. This is Mostert. They also had an unbelievable game with Jeff Wilson. I think he had over 100 and a couple touchdowns.
Yep.
This is exactly what he envisioned when he took this job with this offense. Chase Edmonds, great player. Anybody would love to have him on their team. Just doesn't know this system in and out. Now they get two guys who came from this system, know it in and out, and they're able to do everything they want to do.
McDaniel has thought of all these plays whenever he was back assistant coach, you think, and now he's just unleashing all of them, and they're all just so happen to be working, or is there misses too, you think?
Here's the evolution, and this is kind of the way I see this evolution as I've studied these guys from way back. Mike Shanahan was the originator, right? And then it goes to Gary Kubiak. It goes from there. Then it goes from there to Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan took this system and added a whole nother level to it. McVay also. Now Mike McDaniel's doing the same thing down there and adding another level, I think, to a lot of the things they're doing.
Wow, this thing has evolved.
Just the action. AQ, just the action, like you said, instead of toss, correct, but he's turning his back to the defense. I know this play is tough because it's a high snap. He has to do it right away, but Tua does a good job. You could play fake off of this, and when he turns his back to the defense, they may have to, pause an extra second to make sure he doesn't keep this thing.
Exactly, and that's why I think it allows them to go through as opposed to pull, and that's, I think, part of the whole play design.
Does McDaniels change this stuff up every week so they'll show that same look and then next week do something different off it?
Absolutely, and that's the coolest thing about this offense and what San Fran's doing. I've talked a bunch about it. Everything looks the same. The way they set up their formations, the way they do it, the way the next opponent is going to see this. They're going to see this, and they're going to think, okay, they can do this, this, this out of this. And then guess what? There's a whole new arsenal that comes out of this stuff. What they're able to do with making everything look the same from a week-to-week basis is awesome.
Yeah, because technically he could come out here.
Yeah.
And run the play action.
Yeah. Out there.
The tops crack.
And then they could have a drag.
Yeah.
From over there.
Low, high, low.
Oh, you're talking about like Georgia had.
Like that.
Okay. Pin and pull, point man, instead of blocking and cracking, actually going out.
There it is.
Oh! Good for them. Texas runs a lot of this type of stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Texas looks very
You got to have a wideout that's willing to crack Myles Garrett, though, and able to do a good enough job.
Well, or just appeared that he's going to crack.
Yeah.
Do that
pump right there. I mean, Myles didn't play right into him, but yeah, I feel like there's even if Myles went and played outside, there's still a gap inside.
We made an adjustment here to this because.
Yeah, we did. We'll get to the gadget. We're going to save the gadget for last.
Creative gadget. This is just hard-nosed football here, isn't it, AQ?
This is. And again, I like setting the scene today. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to set the scene.
Paint picture. Yeah.
Darisaw, we've been talking about him all year long. This guy's been mauling people at left tackle. Don't got to worry about him. All we're going to do here is run an inside zone, really a mid zone, because they're going to kind of come right through this gap right here. Darisaw with the kick-out block. Check out this single block. AJ, wait till you see the single block and the way he hits the hip, knocks him across the center, climbs to Milano, stud. The big key to this, Milano moves over pre-snap because this guy now becomes the new B-gap player. And when that happens, Justin Jefferson, you got to love it, right? One of the best receivers in football. You got to love when he comes in.
Probably the.
Probably the best, right? Now you watch him come in and do the dirty work. These guys are going to appreciate the hell out of watching him come in, get the crack block here.
Wow.
Now wait till you see this, because we talked about this earlier. You talked about this. Hold up, right there. You just saw it. Let's rewind it just a tad. Okay? You talked about it earlier about one step here, one step there. That really sets this thing off. He's going to make this outcut. When he makes the outcut here off of the crack block, he's going to take one step forward because he thinks he's bouncing to the outside. Boom, right there. That was it. Now, had he not done that and makes the play right there, maybe this entire outcome of this game changes. But it's always 5 plays a game. He makes that little move right there up because of the outcut. And then once he makes the outcut, boom, the quick upcut. He already put himself out of position.
Gone.
And you are not catching him.
Especially playing against his brother's team with a family in his stance.
That's right.
Jeez. And AQ, isn't that a design you want to block the safety, make that corner tackle?
It's exactly it. We call that a push crack, and it's really big, especially to the single receiver side. It's really most dangerous man. If that safety stays deep, now maybe we block most dangerous man. But because that safety starts to roll down, push, crack, that's where you get this. Make him make the tackle. They don't want to tackle. They're there to cover.
Bro, how about
great block, right?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson throws cuz.
Jeez.
Hey.
It's really good. And then we got carnage on the backside of that. It was awesome.
Hell yeah.
To your point about changing the game, too, I think if you take this out, I think he had like 13 carries for 40 yards. Like, they did a good job on him all day. And then, boom.
Oh, he needs one.
Let's rewind that one more time. I want to kind of focus on this single block, too. I don't know if you saw it, AJ. Watch this.
Hold on, remind people. It's single block because it is
center guard, front side. Anything on front side, we're going to, in the zone scheme, we're going to go single, double. If there was a tight end here, it'd be tackle, tight end. That'd be a triple. Center guard, single.
What about on this side over here? What about these two?
So now on the back side, we go scoop, slip, and then there's some form of a combo you can call it. There's all kind of different names you can call it on the back side, but universal terms are pretty much either A, B, C, or scoop, slip, combo.
And you're saying front side, not because where the power is lined up, not because where the
front side of where the play is.
The play is the design, so the single can switch sides from play to play.
Correct.
Got it.
Are they setting this up with the tight ends on the opposite side of where they're running so they can get Von Miller kind of away from the point
No,
of
not
attack?
necessarily, because you could do the same thing like this very easily to the defense. Now you can run, strong zone to that side or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Anything to the tight end. You just end up running this. But the single block knocking him across. Watch this. This is awesome. Watch him get this hip. Bam! Look at that hand right on the hip. Knocks him across.
Man.
Gets up on Milano.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Milano's screwed.
Yeah,
he can't do anything.
Look at that perfect form.
And then look, we got ass cheek there, ass cheek there. There's your
big,
gaping
hole.
Yeah, I got it. Well, kind of a slit there. Huh?
Yeah, you see what?
Like that field turf.
Yeah.
Field turf. Can't have that.
Sick of it.
That's disgusting. That's unbelievable. The Vikings have been awesome to watch.
They've been rolling. Yeah. They have been rolling, running the ball.
Is this something from Kevin O'Connell took for Sean McVay? Is that what this is here?
It's all the same system. It's all the same system. They live and die by the zone. That's kind of that world, right? And they've actually had more success with the fullback this year, and it was interesting to kind of see them go single back here because they have not had as much success. But, man, did they have success on this one.
Fullback C.J. Ham got a touchdown.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Plus 1,500.
Uh-oh. Creative gadget. AJ.
I did it.
This guy.
I didn't hear it.
No, you didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what do you need me to do on Big Noon Kickoff?
Yeah.
You want me to tackle somebody? Okay. You want me to do whatever? I want to. Creative gadget. What's your deal, dude? Come on, bro. There's not a lot of this in the NFL anymore, is there?
No.
Out on AJ.
Right now?
Wet blanket.
For good.
No, not for good. No,
For
no.
good. He fucking stinks.
He's one of our
Wet
guys.
blanket.
This guy's one of our
I want
guys.
to be a wet blanket.
was.
Thank you. I want to be a wet blanket.
Whoa.
All right, Mark.
That's what you need.
We appreciate you, AJ, but we don't like that you didn't buy into the
creative gadget.
Watch this shit, dude.
Hey, we ready for this? AJ, what do we got here? We got a receiver in the backfield.
Oh, no.
We got a bunch over here. What do we got here?
A wide receiver.
Running back. Shit. Exchanging positions. Now this gets really awesome. Let it run a little bit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Alert.
Alert. Pause it. Now let me set it up. Guard, flat pull. Tight end, second puller. We've talked about this play all year long. This is the counter with the tight end as the second wrapper. going to the second level. Check it out. We're going to hand this ball off to Dak, and then a double handoff back to Tony Pollard. Oh, damn.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow.
And then look who we got out. Check this out.
CD,
quarterback and blocker. He's like Aaron Rodgers.
You end up stealing a blocker front side with this play. This play would have went out the house.
Ooh.
Defensive end makes a hell of a play right here. 55. Yeah. He's the first puller, gets it. Boom, if we get this thing secured on the log block, why do we call it a log block? Because he comes flat down the line. He tries to seal him back inside. Does a phenomenal job playing back over the top, making the play, or else this thing's out the gate. But how cool of a scheme is this?
Yeah.
I like that type of creativity.
Yeah.
Big Mike McCarthy going back to Lambeau. I'm sure I still got something.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Look at the little side shuffle. Like the shift is so pure.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott just all in unison. Look at that. I mean,
little dance move.
They're on a string, aren't they?
Phenomenal, right? Get phenomenal deuce block right here. Get back blocks kind of everywhere else. Get a little seal block on the backside by the left tackle. O-line does a phenomenal job. We just need a little more on this first puller.
A little bit more. What effort, grit?
Yeah, a little bit more finish right there.
A bigger bump, you're saying?
A little bit more finish right there.
Just
he has him right there and just kind of get up the field. Has him right there. But
that's a tud, if not, huh?
It's an effort, great effort play by 55. That's huge.
Yep.
Did they end up scoring a touchdown on this drive?
It's a great question.
Because they end up kicking a field goal there. That could be a different game. You know?
Either they did or Dak threw a red zone pick. I don't remember.
Deeper.
But just think that's what we've been talking about. Yeah. That's kind of been the story of the day. Like, if old buddy somehow blocks Cuz a little bit better.
Because if you pause it right before there, Pat, if we rewind this, if we can get this,
he's in great position.
Right, kind of there. Look, head to the upfield shoulder. We got him. It's over. All he's got to do is just kind of wheel and get him to go that way. We get him to go that way. We're out the gate.
Hard right arm. He had a hard right arm, right? Boom. Turn him a little bit. Just set a little pick.
That's a great play.
Great effort play.
Great effort play.
Yes. Huge.
Matt LaFleur's got the boys buzzing.
That's right.
Yeah, he certainly does.
Emotional.
Big win. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I agree. Joe Barry's got those boys buzzing too.
Hell yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one.
We got a couple big bumps here. Hey, I love this.
Big bumps.
I love this because we're going to get big Roger Saffold pulling out in space here. And check this out. This guy's 35 years old. Watch him get on his horse. But check this out, too. When you get this guard pulling out in space and he's got a linebacker to block, that linebacker, AJ, tell him, you're coming downhill trying to decleat that guard, right?
Before he gets his shoulders turned.
Now, check this out. Kendricks, who's one of the better linebackers in the league, and he's a thumper, is going to come down and try and take out Saffold. And watch what Saffold does to him.
Hey, that was a big shot Kendricks gave him, though.
Gave him a big shot.
That's a nasty little collision right there.
Yeah.
This is one of those ones where neither of them got concussed, so it won't be talked about. This one hurt both these guys.
Oh, yeah, but this,
they both might have been dinged up here.
Yeah.
Whoa, bam.
But that's why I loved it so much, because Kendricks, I mean, a lot of times you see those guys flat-footed and you see the big hits, right? Kendricks tried to get him. He tried to get him. Big Saffold, one of the better guards in the league for a long time. I think he's maybe year 11, year 12 at this point.
35 years old.
Man,
yeah.
What a finish.
I'm 35 years old. Somebody hits me in the jaw like that.
Yeah.
Dead.
Ow.
Dead. All right, here we go.
All right, let me just kind of do this real quick. So when you're a guard, so if he's at left guard, where's the camera? Look, okay. Perfect.
Get up there, Con.
Perfect. So once I go here, and I got a guy right here, which you're going to see in Cleveland here, and he starts to loop out, you know the pressure's coming from the other side. The more you play, the quicker you can react. Boom. He loops out. Now I can come back, and what am I looking for?
Ribs.
We're looking for ribs.
Ooh.
And this is one of the better rib shots I've seen. As soon as Jordan Phillips works out, he sees it. Put the brakes on, target locked, Ed Oliver, top 10 pick, stud D tackle. Ooh. This is one of the better ones I've seen all year.
Sorry, Ed.
Let's let this thing run full speed first.
Beep, 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 beep.
I mean, Cleveland gets him some meat.
Ezra.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
Thanks for coming, Ed.
How good is that? How good is that?
Well, not great for Ed, obviously.
Yeah,
I mean,
D
not good
lineman.
for Ed. We're obviously big Ed fans around here.
We
but
love the Bills.
You're saying, boy, that bump is a big one.
That's a big one. That's a big one. And he's going to feel that. He's going to know it. And the minute he works across the center's face.
Look how he popped his head. AQ, look how quickly he pops his head
Whiplash.
across to the right. Bam.
Oh!
Bump it up.
The hell of a play.
Don't you know?
Bump it up. You got to bump it up. Don't you know? Bump it up. You got to bump it up. Don't you know? Bump it up. You got to bump it up. Don't you know? Bump it up. You've got to bump it up. Don't you know? Bump it up. Got to bump it up.
We play that every Saturday, College Game Day, right before we go live.
Perfect.
I need it every single week. I mean, I do this naturally because the beat hits my bones, and I hope Ed Oliver was able. Did he get up after this?
He got up. He got up.
Barely.
He got up. Cleveland's doing some really nice things, though. Left guard for the Minnesota Vikings. He's
Cleveland, the player, not the team. Right?
Exactly. Ezra Cleveland. He's doing a phenomenal job. He's been playing really high level, along with Darisaw, left side of the offensive line. Minnesota Vikings doing a phenomenal job. Brian O'Neill from University of Pittsburgh, having a hell of a year as well. Bradbury center. I mean, they're doing some really, really, really good things. Right guard's playing well as well.
Oh, I mean, look at his eyes. Look how happy he was as soon as.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
He's hard as a rock.
Been thinking about this all week.
Oh my God! He even gave a little crow hop into that thing. Let me.
Quick recognition though. You see it, he knows it right away.
Oh, see you later, Ed.
Hey, Ed, sorry about it.
Sorry about it.
Hate that you had to be a part of this program, but that's part of the game. And that's In the Trenches with AQ Shipley. Thank you, AQ. Incredible job, pal. We appreciate getting better every single day. It seems like some teams might stink in the record books, but their team has some things that are great on the ground. So maybe let's keep a little optimism going forward for the strategies that are being implemented for these squads. Thank you, AQ.
Thank you, AQ.
Always something to build upon.
Thank you for all your help, too. With I've sent him some homework assignments whenever it's like game day, like TCU and things like that. He's always come back with big brain. I appreciate the hell out of you, AQ. Super Bowl champion for a reason.
Hell yeah.
AJ, great show today. We appreciate the hell out of you, except for whenever you're in a team meeting, you refuse to buy into the team meeting. The Talks at Table at Boston Connor at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs. Great show today. What time are you going live? About 15 minutes from now?
3:50.
3:50. That'll be great. All the boys in the back. Billy, Dirty,
What?
Bruce,
What?
Mitt,
What?
Foxy,
What?
Nick,
What?
Zito,
What?
CFO Phil.
What?
Big thanks to everybody. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers stopped by today. It was a cool conversation. We can't thank him enough for that. Taylor Heinicke was fantastic. Hopefully he's enjoying those ins.
Oh, I know he is.
Seemed like he had some plans for the day. I'm happy, and hopefully he executed that to continue the successful Monday Night Football journey before he. Next week, they're going to have to hey, next week, what if the Commanders just keep winning? Have we talked about that yet?
They might.
Good question.
That defense is only getting better.
What if they just keep winning? We're going to have to continue to talk about the Commanders, and it's not just put your left hand up. Who are we?
The Commanders.
Conversation. No, it's like, hey, this team somehow, with a shitstorm all around their football locker room, have been able to rally the troops, keep everybody in, and then go out and win games. I'm happy for the Commanders. I'm thankful for Taylor Heinicke, and I'm thankful to do this show every single day. Now, to wrap this thing up in beautiful fashion, a man who's in a Hall of Fame, Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League Hall of Fame, for his basketball and football abilities, will showcase both of those things. He will attempt to throw a football into a basketball hoop to get how many people, AJ?
10.
See,
that doesn't make sense.
There has to be some sort of consequence.
Should be 8, AJ.
All right, 8.
Oh, because he missed the last one he missed, we got to bump it down.
He's missed 10 shots so far. I mean,
Yeah.
we can't
Got you
just,
bumped
you know what I
it
mean?
down.
Like, who are we without any accountability?
Now, this is the first attempt, right?
Well, we'll say that when you get in there, but now we are figuring out the rules.
it is hour.
So it'll be 8 winners. There has to be some sort of
Here we
accountability.
go.
You can't just continue to be the hero after you miss 10 shots.
No.
You could still be a hero, but not as much as you would have been with the first attempt in the first hour. That's just life. You would expect nothing less. You're a coach.
That's right. You're right. Consequences.
It's not all sunshines
right.
and rainbows.
You're right. Make every day feel like a fucking loss. Let's go.
No.
Whoa.
We would celebrate a win.
Yeah.
But we just can't celebrate it as much at this point whenever we've lost so much the first couple weeks.
Bingo.
8 people will win $500 if AQ Shipley is able to drop that football, that baby Duke, that beautiful ball into that hoop right over there. We will pick the winners by randomly picking somebody that retweets this video, and in reply to this tweet, say something nice to somebody and put your cash tag from Cash App so we can efficiently pay you your $500. 8 winners potentially changing their day. Not only is it a Tuesday and Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, but now it's a day that they won $500. Will AQ Shipley do that for the people? We shall see. Connor, anything to say to AQ before he throws the ball?
Yeah, get it done, Al. People are not going to be happy with you if you don't.
Saw a lot of tweets. People disappointed with you, AQ. I think after In the Trenches, you're riding high. What an incredible segment of In the Trenches today. AJ, your thoughts for AQ before he makes these attempts here?
I think he makes this first one. He doesn't need the other three.
Me too. I think this first one's falling.
Come on
8
now.
winners of $500. AQ, you put this ball in the hoop. Let's go ahead and see it, pal. For the good of Joe DeNaro.
Look good.
Did.
That was a great line, AQ.
Great
Yeah,
spiral.
looked really good.
In his first attempt here, AQ Shipley will try to win 8 people $500.
Ooh. Jeez. I like this angle for
Duck
it.
Dynasty.
All right, in his first attempt, AQ will try to get 8 winners.
Oh! Man, it looks so good.
I'm trying here.
Come on, like purposeful throws.
Wake up, Al.
I mean,
He's
it's like you're
arm.
just throwing it for the area.
Yeah.
Like, try to make it in the hoop.
Come on.
Do it for Joe DeNaro.
Each rep with a purpose.
That's what I'm saying,
There
dude.
he is.
You're just throwing it.
Oh, there we go.
Chuck actually made it from shotgun.
In his first attempt here, AQ Shipley will try to win $500 for 8 random people right in front of Joe DeNardo.
Oh!
Heartbreak.
Joe DeNardo said, "Oh, you don't honor me."
That's what Joe did.
Yeah.
Joe had the Doppler go. Just right at the very end.
He called the wind gust.
Hey, great attempts, though.
Hey, nice job. Oh, here we go. Joe and
You
Jay.
fucked up, AQ. It's as simple as that. And guess what? When I get back to fight camp, I'm going to fuck you up, too.
All right, that's Tuesday. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Joe Nardo. Thank you, AQ. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers. Thank you, Taylor Heinicke. Thank you, AJ Hawk. Thank you, Boston Connor, Ty Schmidt, Tone Diggs, and everybody in the back. You are the best. Thank you for allowing us to do this for a living. We are eternally grateful. You know, we didn't win anything today for the people because we had some tough wind gusts in there.
Yeah.
Tough throws. It's not an easy shot, but it's still a good time to say something nice to somebody because the world is filled with people being assholes. Saying something nice to somebody is a nice way to remind them, hey, you're alive. You look good. Something's great. Go ahead and do that, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.